It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth.
It's you liberals who have lifted them up, Howard.
Paul, you conservatives make a mistake. You can't afford to strangle hope in people. Without hope, people become dangerous.
No, Howard. You liberals have let them invade our society. You give them jobs, political jobs.
Paul, you missed the point. It's only the smart ones we move up.
That makes it even worse.
No, we have to move them up. If we leave a smart one in the ghetto, he might develop into a leader against us. But if we raise him up into white society, we neutralize him.
It really boils down to our ability to accept. We don't need pessimism.
What he means by pessimism is resistance. And that's what COINTELPRO was all about, stopping the resistance.
I know you're out there. I can feel you now. I know that you're afraid. You're afraid of us. You're afraid of change.
We hide it in plain sight. One of Plato's greatest works was the allegory of the cave. I feel in order to understand the political matrix, we need only to look into this allegory. We first have to open our minds to the possibility everything is not as it seems, that things we've always known to be truth may be lies. For if we can't perceive the lies we've ingested, we can't see the bars on our mental conditioning. For that is how you walk out of the cave and see the political matrix. Hello, everybody. It's Political Matrix. I'm your host, Young Morpheus, here with the madam and the mistress of the show, her chief priestess herself. And if you guys cannot see, we're here with two very, very, very special guests. So glad to see. We got our brother Nature Boy here, and of course, Mr. Steve Poikinen. Welcome to the show, fellas, and welcome back.
Heck yeah. Always good to be here.
Yeah, I mean, I was so glad to get this. I wanted to have a panel to talk about this whole Epstein stuff, and like my fingers crossed. I got the people I wanted. Till was able to be here. Boom. No other things going on. She here. She locked in. So of course she got to be bringing the comedy relief and also giving us some pearls of wisdom to think about. And then of course Steve knows so much about this whole thing that is definitely going to make this very interesting. And then of course Dave has a way of looking at some of these things and bringing those certain points that we might miss. So hopefully these four minds come together. We can have a very, very good conversation on this. Shout out to everybody in the chat also. The lady who helps keeps this show going, Miss Group Owns, give her a round of applause.
Woo! Heck yeah.
Right on.
Making sure I got my coffee, I got my water, I got everything and supporting. She's out there driving, so make sure we're, prayers with her that she's safe out there on those roads. Shout out to Monique. Shout out to Hamza's in the building. And I see our brother, Mr. Warren, is in the building. That's the one thing I forgot. She just got me a fan. I forgot to put the fan on the desk. But I don't know. I might have to break away in a minute and go grab that fan before it gets too hot in here with this bright ass light. But before we get into the Epstein stuff, there's a couple of stories that I want to bring up. And I'm just going to kind of touch on them real quick. And we're going to get right to, what we're all here to talk about. But I've just seen some crazy things that have been going on lately. And I just want us to kind of always pay attention to those things that are just outside our peripheral. And so one of the first things that I noticed, of course, is still going crazy over there in Israel. You just had the church, that Catholic church that was attacked. Shout out to Dingo. I see you down there. And surprisingly, we just had Huckabee, which said that this was an act of terrorism. So I'm surprised Mr. Lapdog of Israel, is so, willing to call them out a little bit more. And I wonder if the normal, people who are at the knees of Israel are starting to say, maybe we got to at least try to at least seem like we're being critical of some of the stuff they're doing, even if we're still going to keep shipping them the weapons and supporting them. It's starting to remind me of they're getting to the Biden administration level. So I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
I just, I don't like the wishy-washy shit. And I don't like the fact that we always be bullying people and we always in somebody else's business. Can we please get out of these people's business? Because last Tuesday you was like, fuck them. Now this Tuesday you saying this is an act of terrorism. Make up your fucking mind. What are we doing? Are we blowing these niggas up or no? And y'all want people to stand behind this fight. Y'all don't even know where to fight at. Okay? I don't know if I sent it to you earlier, but that Charleston White clip is, we really need to hear that clip right about now, especially with this. And that's why I sent it to you today, because I knew we was going to have to talk about the fact that they just blew some people up. And now we talking about some, oh no, we can't be doing that. Stop blowing them people up. What happened? But what about in October when you was like, fuck them infidels? It was fuck them infidels in October. Here it is in July. Now it's an act of terrorism. Make y'all fucking mind up. Because I need to get on what side of the racism I need to be on, okay? Because I don't like flip-flopping on my racism. I'm trying to say fuck them. I need to know who to say fuck them to. They confusing me now. Bad Cookie, I know you're here today. Who am I supposed to be mad at now? I don't even know no more.
I mean, it's wild too, because you have, Trump campaigning on how he's going to stop the wars, right? That was for a year and a half. That's all we heard. Joe Biden screwing up Ukraine. Joe Biden screwing up, Middle East. Joe Biden screwing up. Doesn't know what to do about China. Blah, 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 blah. I can solve all this on day one. And he gets into office, and he's conducted almost as many airstrikes in 6 months as the Biden administration did in 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
But over 400 of them being in Yemen alone, and it's done nothing to deter the Houthis. It's in fact helped them out tremendously in terms of recruitment. I don't know, man. Like the will of the country is so day by day programmable. So it really is kind of fucking hard to get a feel for where the average person is, because all they're doing is reacting to what they see online or on TV.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, would you expect anything less from the bait and switch administration? False prophet and Judas Goat?
Right.
Think the guy's going to come through and keep his word? I mean, another thing that we're going to talk about later is, all of a sudden it's like, oh, the Epstein thing, that's a hoax. And then he insulted his base by saying, if you still think that, you're not my friend. I believe that was the words in his post or something.
My so-called friends, because Trump is 70-some-year-old high school mean girl.
Almost
exactly.
Duh. Because if you don't like my rocket program, if you don't like my new shoes, and you don't like my new cell phone, and it's coming from China, so what? Donald Trump hands. You're not my friend. My friends listen to my lies and believe them.
Mm-hmm.
Be my friend. Bro, he been lying to motherfuckers all week.
Shout out to Irie B in the chat also. Glad to see you here. I guess what it says to me more than anything is, as much as I thought people were kind of waking up to seeing things, the more I realize it is still the same select few of us who are kind of sitting up there calling things out, and we'll get them to kind of pay attention just a little bit and listen. And then it's almost like Dory from Finding Nemo. They completely forget everything everybody just said and fall right back into listening to all the BS. I mean, I watched it. Who is it that I just saw the other day? Which this guy, I think he's smart enough to know. I just think he's full of shit. And he's so good at his grift that the people he's grifting off of just don't catch that he's so full of shit. I'm talking about Glenn Beck. Glenn Beck, how he's like, oh, well, I was wrong on the whole Iraq war. And I mean, if I would have knew what I knew then he turns right back around. And he's the same way with all of this stuff with the whole March to Iran and all this stuff. Fun fact, I just noticed, granted, this is a crappy movie and it's kind of a little out of left field, but I wanted to watch the new RoboCop again for some reason. I'm like, maybe if I watch it again, maybe I'll see something in there. Maybe it'll be more interesting. Kind of interesting to me. Do you guys know which country they start off with their robots overseas in?
Ukraine.
Ukraine.
No.
Oh.
What?
Tehran.
Ithral? Say what?
Tehran.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm like, that's not a country that we're actively in. But for some reason, you decide to start off with these robots having to be in Iran. And I think that kind of went under the radar because the movie didn't do very well at all. And I can go into a whole hour-long breakdown on why I didn't like that movie and why it was a bad movie. But it's just interesting. They're already trying to put Iran in our heads. And it's the first time where they've kind of first time where I noticed where they're directly showing any kind of war with everything in Iran. I feel like with Wonder Woman 1984, they kind of hinted at it, but didn't say. And as you can pick any Arab country you want to pick. I don't know.
Well, it's always blame it on the Arabs.
Well, it makes the ongoing balkanization of Syria way easier.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Yeah.
And something else I wanted to say to you, what you said, Marcus, is how you say it's like, oh, it's only the few people that are still with the shits. It's because we don't believe the last story, and we didn't believe the story before that one, and that we broke out of that a while ago. So all the new stories they sending us, it's some bullshit. We know it's the bullshit because it's like I can't keep reading the same book and believe the same book. This is so fiction. Science fiction book, you know what I'm saying? And so once we got into chapter 2 and was like, oh, this shit's fake. Okay, this is a nice story. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I view it in a personal sense. If I know somebody, say, Steve, hypothetically, I'm going to use you. Steve's a lying cocksucker. Every time he opens up his mouth, he's lying to me, okay? It's not going to take more than a couple times being lied to when I see a pattern. And I'm not going to believe a gosh darn thing that Steve has to say. Now, that's the same way that I look at the media. When they've been blatantly caught lying to us and deceiving us time and time again, now I'm expected to believe the lies that you're presenting to me? No, I know what it is. I can identify it, just like you said. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. It's kind of like Barnum's statement when, from that movie. And once you see it, then you see it everywhere. And it is a willful choice. It has to be a willful choice to shut your eyes and go back to sleep.
I hear what you're saying. I kind of look at it more as, because I always think from like combat situation and boxing and stuff like that. And I think when you're in the ring and you've seen somebody set this combination up, you've seen them set this up. Mm-hmm. If you get hit by it, it's your fault for getting hit by it at this point because you know what's coming. You see it, and it's up for you to actually be more critical and analytical in the way that you approach this stuff. And I'll still listen to media, which I know at least 50% to 75% of what they're saying is complete BS. But I need to be wise enough to be able to discern where the BS is and where is the truth and what am I, it's kind of like some kind of food where you got to pick away most of it to get to the good meat, kind of like, crawfish or something like that. You gotta pick away so much of it to get to what you want, or some blue crabs or something like that. Not that they
blue crab season. Hallelujah.
But, you gotta pick away the shells and all that to get to the meat, and that's how I look at most of this information. I think we just got too many lazy ass people who are just
eat the crab shell, Marcus. Ew. They just crunch down on crabs and shell and all.
They just eat
the whole sunflower seed. These are the people that eat the whole peanut. Ew.
Yes. They eat the candy with the wrapper on it.
Oh God! And they wondering why they choking.
Mm-hmm.
And then they want
on that shit vein that rolls on the back of the crawdad.
Yeah.
Call it caviar.
And then they're wondering why they're sick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In that same breath, to make it like super full circle, and then they wonder why they sick. Cause you ate the whole crawdad, bitch. You dumb bitch.
And it's like, how many times have I showed you how to clean a crawdad,
I
but you
told
don't
you
listen.
how to clean a crab. I told you to move the yellow stuff. Get the gunk out the way. No, you just went to town and ate the whole bitch. Yeah, you deserve to get sick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fucking sad. How do you? Fucking sad.
Yeah.
I think it's just the state of the world. And I see people waking up slowly, but I also see a huge amount of our population that's still asleep in the matrix. I mean, they're still eating that blue pill left and right. And God forbid you do not give them that red pill, or they're going to call you crazy, and then they're going to get as far away from you as they can, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I don't think there's as many ciphers out there. I think just a lot of people who are just, plugged in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or there's other people, you brought up Glenn Beck, is they have financial interests. And when you look at Glenn Beck, he has a large empire that he's running. So he has a lot of financial interests, and he's not doing that to be an altruistic truth teller. He's doing that to make a profit. So we all know the influences of money, where they come from and what they do. So it makes complete sense that a person like him would be toting the narrative line like he is, or the line du jour. So whatever he said a month ago, well, now the line's changed because of monetary interests, let's just say. So now it's, oh, I was wrong. Forgive me. I have sinned. And then his followers are like, hey, mistakes were made. He's a good guy, and they'll keep following him. Mm-hmm. And I see the pattern time and time and time. And that's just one small example of where I see everywhere. It's kind of like these celebrities get caught with half pound of cocaine and a 16-year-old hooker. And the media condemns them. And then all of a sudden they go to fucking Betty Ford rehab clinic and they come out a star. And just like, yeah, it's the same thing, just different names and just different scenarios.
And Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah. Got caught in that kid's bed, all whacked out on whatever the hell he was on.
Yeah.
Look, there's multiple threads to pull on with this stuff, and we were just talking on the other panel with the IMA a little bit ago. Like we're really in an odd moment where to hear any of us talk about this stuff, like the person commenting was saying, yeah, it does sound crazy to normies, but they also know every freaking, elementary school kid mom or wine mom or soccer mom knows that Jeffrey Epstein ran a child sex trafficking blackmail operation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like that's just taken as a given. But then when the rubber meets the road, it's what list? Never heard of him. That guy's been dead forever. And anybody still bringing it up? What's up, Marietta? Anybody bringing it up ain't my friend anymore. You're like, you're off the island. Wait, no, not that island. Swear to God, not that island, but you're off of it. You are. You don't get to come around anymore.
That's so he can stay on the party boat, Steve. So he can stay on the party boat.
I think they're trying to distract us with a couple of these other stories that I saw out there. I'll just read the title of it. Sextortion gang bust in Delhi. Kingpin and 3 others arrested. And so they're like, well, see, we're doing something over here. And so I saw that story, and I saw in Libya deports 700 Sudanese migrants in crackdown on trafficking.
What's that have to do with us?
What that?
Nothing,
we
but they're
minding
gonna
the
arrest
business that
Obama
don't pay
too.
us.
Because we got Tulsi Gabbard out there running her freaking mouth about, we're definitely going to arrest Obama this time. We're going to get, Clinton and everybody who set Trump up 8 years ago. They're all going down. There's going to be accountability. And it's going to look like a special counsel with a special prosecutor. And they're basically running the entire Russiagate op in reverse.
Right.
For the other team this time. That's what it looks like it could turn into. Right now, it's just a little bit of noise. And Tulsi making the rounds on, the Sunday shows and stuff like that, trying to throw out a couple of kernels of hopium. But that's the trade-off. We'll go, sure, everything involved with the, Epstein network and that whole operation can go on unabated.
Right.
But we'll let you think that we're going to get, Barry and Hill, which will, they can run that through the midterms if they want to, and then just have it fizzle and die like the actual Russiagate Mueller investigation, like the J6 commission, like every other time they convened a special counsel, a special prosecutor to really dig into it. And then they're like, oh, well, we looked into it, and it turns out, none of us are actually guilty of anything. So have a nice day, everybody. Yeah, the whole thing cost about $70 million. No big deal. No big deal.
Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. That's exactly what it is.
Well, I think right now it's just because the Trump administration is getting so much heat right now. How can I try to get back some goodwill? Hey, I know your political enemy over here that you can't stand, that you feel like is literal Satan. Here, we're going after them. So please forgive us for, trying to sweep this under the rug.
Here's a perspective. Say this Obama stuff is legit, right? Let's go into hypothetical land. We all know that they want to fracture our society. That's how they're going to do it. The Bill Ayers type of comments, Yuri Bismanoff, we all know that whole shtick. So they have to create this mass chaos strategy of tension. What better way would it be to completely fracture our country than to actually prosecute Barry for the crimes that he committed? Holy shit. That would be a master plan in a, quote, hypothetical situation. What do you think?
I think it would, though I'm not against punishing any of these war criminals and these people who commit multiple crimes on a high level. I think that it would work towards really just fracturing and almost pushing things closer to like a civil war kind of thing. Because you're going to have a whole lot of people who's going to be pissed off that are like, oh, so now you want to go after somebody. You got all these presidents who have done all this crooked shit for all of these years, and they've kind of behind the scenes have kind of made a gentleman agreement like, hey, I don't go after your shit, you don't go after my shit. And because each administration that comes in after the other one gets purview to all of the information, all the documents. So they know the crimes that the administration before them committed, every single one of them. And since they've let this shit go, and I'm talking about, we can go all the way back to, Woodrow Wilson or even before that, like how many of these presidents will probably committed treason in different ways who probably should be, at the end of a rope. But you're going to say, oh, well, the first black president, that's the one that we're going to go after and throw in prison. That's going to, automatically set up, because this is the argument which I used to have with a lot of people from the right when I was more when I was barely hanging into the Democratic Party. I was like the embarrassed Democrat, like, ugh, I can't support that side. And I'm so disgusted with what my side is doing, but I got to hold my nose and vote for him. Right. I was at that level. Right. And where a lot of people who were Trumpers or actually wasn't even Trumpers at that time. What would we say? Tea Party. A lot of the Tea Party people, where they would lose people. And I feel like this is where a lot of people who were libertarians or Tea Party had room to gain people from, the so-called left or Democrats or whatever, or liberals. If they would focus on crime and being consistent. And where it is I can see all the problems these people do, but I'm going to ignore everything my side does. And I really believe that you would have bipartisan support amongst voters of the parties if it was consistently going after both sides. But we don't see that consistency. And we see, especially now with a lot of people in MAGA who are being complete hypocrites on this Epstein stuff.
Right. Yeah.
That it would be like, of course you guys will want to go after Obama right now. So it puts people who, like, I was having problems with Obama, but I found myself forced to have to defend Obama because I knew a lot of people who were going after him were only going after him for racist reasons.
Yeah.
And so it made it like, I want to agree with you and give you a bone here, but you're making it hard for me because I know you already started off from go not liking this guy and want to go after him. So
those were some of the best conversations between Anthony Cumia and Patrice O'Neill, like during the run up to Obama's election and stuff like that. It didn't, I mean, sure, first black president, but these are his grandparents. And the dude to the right of him is George H.W. Bush's cousin.
Yeah.
Stanley Dunham.
Oh, Stanley Dunham was his cousin. How far removed?
It's like 11 times or something like that.
Oh,
But it's
okay. So they're like related to Charlemagne.
a couple of different common ancestors and stuff like that. There's a rumor that they're first cousins. That's not true. It's not.
You know what I said a long time during the Barry days is, he's the first black president and this and that. I'm like, y'all realize that he's half white, okay? And that he didn't grow up in the hood, y'all. He grew up in a very high class white bread world, the kind of world that y'all rally against. So just keep that in mind when you're going to throw it behind. He's behind the hood. He's carefully.
They made it seem like this motherfucker was in charge of the Black Panther Party at one point in time. That's how hard these motherfuckers was dick riding.
Yeah. That's why he moved to Chicago and all that, to try to get that bona fides and credibility. I mean, his grandparents, they're from Kansas. And then right. And I'm not talking about like KC or Wichita where there's some, where it's kind of mixed. We're talking about as white as can be parts of Kansas where they
talk about Peyton Place white is what you're talking about. Okay, I get you.
What I'm talking about. And so for Obama to pull this bait and switch and then decide to go to Reverend Wright's church because of the credibility there, hang out there for a couple of years, and then start talking, with a little bit of more black vernacular, and then start going out, Al Green.
And he started smoking Newports. Please don't forget he started smoking Newports, y'all.
Oh, he did now. He had to go. He had to totally get into character there. He couldn't be lighting up the Marlboros
to Newport Cadillacs.
No, I think he was probably smoking Virginia Slims or something before that.
Okay, he was smoking.
No, that's at the bathhouses and gay clubs, brother. So
that's what I'm saying.
Remember Bathhouse Barry? Boom, da-da-dum, da-da-dum.
Oh shit,
now. No, his whole life was a creation of the CIA, from what I've seen. When you look at from the beginning, his grandpappy, Mr. Peyton Place white boy, he was the CIA guy down in Hawaii. And when you look at pictures of Frank Marshall Davis, who was the head of the Communist Party down there and pornographer that Obama's mama was one of his models, they look like a spitting image of each other. But he don't look nothing like the Kenyan. Not a goddamn thing like the Kenyan. But he looked a lot like Ann Dunham and Frank Marshall Davis. And you look at everything about his life seems to be constructed or concealed. You try to get his records in college, everything about the man sealed, except what they want to release. And then he hooks up in Chicago with Bill Ayers, who ghost wrote his big novel breakout, Dreams of My Father.
Yeah.
And you just keep going on and on and on. And there is no way that anybody with a rational mind can think this guy is genuine, or that matter for any of our presidents, for one stinking minute. And the same thing that same theory that I just applied to old Barry, you can apply to Trump today. It goes back to what we were talking about earlier. It's like they have the same playbook, but the average person isn't aware of it. And they just change names to protect the guilty, and they update it for the current situation they want to run it in.
Yeah, like we were saying before the show, nobody gets to these positions just because, I just ran this great campaign and I had these great ideas and everybody supported it. That's bullshit. Nobody even gets to the level. The media plays their part in favorable coverage or not enough coverage, or just enough to kind of put you in the minds of people, And so all of this stuff is ginned up. I want to pose out there to you all. How much do you think that they're actually going to have to admit to a degree? Like, what is the Trump administration going to be able to do to kind of calm this thing down? Because I've never believed that they were going to release anything, which always cracked me up about some of the not thinking parts of MAGA. I've never thought they were going to release any of this stuff, because I know there are way too many people who like where I draw the line, because a lot of people like to draw comparisons between Diddy and Epstein. So the difference with this whole Epstein thing is we are talking about powerful people, not just famous people, not just people with a little bit of money in their pocket. We're talking about world leaders. We're talking about CEOs. We're talking about the people who make the world go round. And involvement with, actually doing things, not just, oh, well, we heard that, Lady Gaga was at the parties, not silly shit like that. We're talking about real billionaires who basically are in a form of compromise. And I always like to bring up, it's not even necessarily that it's all, it's all the pedo stuff. Some of it is just the fact of, you say that you're this family values person, but yet you got a whole bunch of stable young boys going in your room. And what I mean, young boys, not even underage, they could be 19, 20. But you're saying you're the family values, evangelical. How does that look when you got a whole bunch of, gay call boys coming in and out of your room? How does that look, where you're over here getting pegged and all kind of weird shit? How does it look and I think that they're probably even doing more. I don't even think it's all sex. I think some of it might be even to the level of doing some Hunger Games type. I mean, not Hunger Games. I always say Hunger Games. I mean, Squid Games type shit.
Or the most dangerous game.
It's just
the most dangerous game.
Whatever,
it's happening.
Whatever your kink is, he's
right.
facilitating it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Well, yeah, no, and that's basically Diddy, Epstein, where it's common is that it's a concierge service that is also a money laundering front.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
I agree.
But the way that the way that powerful people moved in and out of Epstein's sphere, it's again, we were talking about this a little bit earlier, but it's not just the house in Manhattan. It's not just, the house in Florida. It's not just the island. There was also a house in Paris. There was also the Zorro Ranch, which they never raided or never looked into. There's all of the ties and fun, instrumental in setting up the Clinton Foundation and the Clinton Global Initiative. Had a freaking music camp in Michigan called Interlochen that nobody ever talks about. There's just, it's so pervasive that to assume that the whole thing with Diddy and the whole thing with Epstein were on equal footing is disingenuous. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely some commonality.
Got a quick question for you, Steve. You said he had a music camp called Interlock. Where was that located?
Interlochen. It was in upstate Michigan.
Yeah.
Okay. I remember it just triggered something about Lady Gaga and some other people going to some camp. Is that the same camp, by the way?
Yeah. Yeah. And him and Ghislaine Maxwell set it up.
All right. So that was true. All right. Yeah. Wow. And look at what Lady Gaga is today.
Mm-hmm.
I thought of even, let's say Trump didn't have anything going on with Epstein and he was completely innocent of everything. As two other men on the platform, I want to hear from Dave and Steve. In your mid 40s, being a billionaire, would you decide that you want to create pageants for young girls? Is that what your interest would be?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I'm like,
no. I've been around teenage girls as an adult. They suck. They're fucking monsters. They're goddamn nightmares. Mm-hmm. And that's how all of them are until they age out of it.
But if you're into young tail and a little bit of a younger tail, that would be the best grift to get. Like Trump, so he admitted in writing in an interview when he was running it, he used to like to go back where nobody else was allowed with the little girls that are all undressed. Mm-hmm. And he said this and inspect them. And it was a beautiful thing. Beautiful women, beautiful little teenage girls. I'm seeing them naked. I'm Trump. Mm-hmm. Well, homeboy, you just admitted in writing that is part of an article that you engaged in what could be classified in some child sexual laws. But like you said, hell,
correction, not just in writing, in audio. He said it. He said it on Larry King too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and then told Oprah he wanted to bang his daughter or something like that. I mean,
just something like that.
Yeah,
the dude's a weirdo.
I look at history and patterns over time. That's why when old Trump came back in 2014, 15, when they started floating the idea of him coming up, I was like, oh no, not this soulless cocksucker, because I've been following him since he popped up on the scene in the 80s. And I couldn't stand him then with Robin Leach, you know, Millionaire's Life, whatever show it was, that whole era. There was Trump, and every time he was the most sleaziest douchebag, which is being celebrated as this financial genius. And I couldn't stand him. Now they're talking about becoming a president. I'm like, hell no, this guy is a con man. Look at his history. Nobody believed me. A lot of people got pissed off. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about, Dave. I don't. Okay, now here comes the second go around. I'm saying the same thing. Calling him Orange Jesus, saying this guy is a false prophet and Judas goat. And they're still laughing at me and telling me that I'm a crazy conspiracy theorist or whatever their claimed du jour is. And now this is becoming present. And yet there's still so many people out there. And I probably know a few of them. Well, my brother's one of them, that still think this guy is the savior of the United States. And he's here to save the republic of our country and restore it to its former glory. And he's fighting the pedophiles and globalists. I'm like, motherfucker, have you all checked out the news lately? He's protecting the pedophiles. And J.D. Vance is a member of the Bilderberg. Thiel's on the steering committee. Follow the money. This dude's got his globalist cock so far up its ass, it's tickling the dude's tonsils. But yet, people still believe.
Well, for me, I'm like, did all of these people just learn who Trump was like in the past 5-10 years or something? I'm like,
thank you.
I'm pretty sure most of the people which I'm seeing in MAGA, especially a lot of the older ones, y'all remember Trump from all of these years ago. I remember him growing up. I mean, I embarrassingly brought multiple Trump books and read like all about him. And I'm like, at 14, 15, I was like, this dude's a piece of shit.
Dude's a piece of shit.
And I said that. And so we're talking about back in the 90s, I was already like, this dude is a horrible fucking human being already. And how all of a sudden, and then people were like, oh, well, like I hear like some of these like creators talking about, well, when was Trump ever racist, or the black community? When did we have a problem with Trump? Nobody really liked Trump. What it was is they liked what Trump represented.
Yeah.
Well,
he was a head baller, man.
It was about wealth. They didn't have, most of these people didn't know shit about Trump. And also when it goes to I can't remember, what is it, the kids who got falsely accused.
Central Park 5.
Exactly. When he came out with that a lot of people in the black community were done with him at that point. They were like, nah, we see how this dude operates. And then I look at just like how many of his people, which he just stiffed over and didn't want to pay, like contractors.
That was his mode of operandum. It wasn't wanting to. That's how he operated his fucking businesses.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I just had to jump in.
No, you're right. You're right.
Well, no, and just it's odd who helped rehabilitate Trump's image with the black community, right? Who was it? It was Don King. It was Diddy. It was Ye, and to a lesser degree, Mike Tyson.
Al Sharpton there too. Don't leave him out.
A little bit, yeah. But Don King way more than Al Sharpton.
Hell yeah.
Oh, definitely Don King, because he was there at all the fights, and for some reason he kept putting people to have fights in his raggedy ass Trump hotel in Atlantic City.
Right, dude owned a casino that went broke, but you're the world's greatest businessman.
Yeah,
which I mean that's just money laundering too. Casinos don't go broke.
No. Well, that was something also that I noticed. Basically, how he's been able to kind of hold any kind of wealth over the years until he became, a reality TV star, was just basically leasing out his name. And when you really go into the leasing of the name, that is the biggest money laundering you could have, because it was investors from all over the world. And it's not so much that he was like, hey, Qatari guy who I know is probably involved in terrorism, I will take your money. It was like, I don't give a shit what you do. I don't care. I don't care where you get your money from. Just give me money. And so could you say that, yes, he had ties in with the Russian mob, KGB, and all of these different other shady sources? Yes, because I don't believe Trump even knew where any of the money was coming from or cared.
Well, here's a story that my buddy Chuck Ocelli told a long time ago. He's from Jersey. And there was some big convention that Trump was doing or something, and he met a bodyguard, a security that he knew, and they went in and he saw some Italian businessmen that he knew as a child, and they're like, "Hey, Chucky Glasses," that's what they called him, "come on over here." So they're sitting at the table and they're in like a separate room, and in comes Trump, glad hands everybody, and the mobsters kind of said amongst themselves, "Yeah, he stiffs everybody, but he doesn't stiff us." And these were paraphrased from what Chuck heard these cats say about Trump in the presence of Trump.
Yeah.
So to say that he doesn't have any mob ties, how can you be in construction on the level he did in New York, right, and not have mob ties? Because you couldn't get concrete. Straight up. You couldn't get building materials. You couldn't get people to work on your buildings unless you were tied up with them and giving them their taste.
Bro,
especially building where he was.
Yeah.
Or attaching his names to projects that we're
like, one of the things I read in there, like I read this probably when I was like 13 maybe, and I was like, oh, that's just a disgusting way to operate. Trump, what he would do, and this was in one of the books. Now, granted, he didn't write the books because all his books were ghostwriters, but in there he bragged about the fact that all the developers, in the real estate market, he would go and try to basically hook up with their wives behind their back and then get pillow talk on which places that they weren't going to touch or which ones that they think, well, I don't know if I'm interested in that or not. So that's how a lot of his properties, how he got his inside information on, by going around and sleeping with competitors' wives.
What a douchebag.
Exactly.
Man. It just goes to what I've seen ever since he popped in the scenes in '80 when I was in my 20s and stuff like that. I'm like, God, our teens. I'm just like, this dude's a douchebag. He's one of these people that you walk away from his presence and you feel like you need a shower, but you didn't even shake the man's hand, And
we're talking about, it's not like he's bagging like these guys who are in their 60s and 70s who are doing this, who have the young, 40-ish or 50s wives. He's in his 20s, hooking up with these women. So yeah, that was his inside information, and he still fumbled the bag on many of those opportunities.
Yeah. I mean, so where does it go from here, do you guys think, that now that he's pretty much dropped the bag to his MAGA base and said, hey, I'm protecting the pedophiles, where do you see it going from here?
Well, the pivot, they're running Russiagate in reverse now.
Right.
And Tulsi Gabbard and Trump are going to go after, allegedly, threaten to go after Obama and Hillary and stuff like that. And that's just that's the bait and switch. It's all noise to keep anyone from noticing that they're building a fucking technocratic oligarchy in a digital prison.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. This is basically distract. You gotta change the subject. Trump knows, and this is Steve, you were saying this before the show. He knows that piss off MAGA or piss off the people who are funding me. Which one do I want to go with? Also, keep in mind the people that are funding me can also decide to slip something into they can slip stuff in the media that can completely destroy me, or they can slip something in one of my meals and make it look like I had some kind of weird medical incident and I'm no longer with us. And so when you know that the people who are funding you can also take you off the board, literally, put you 6 feet deep, who are you going to worry about pissing off? The people, your base who got you elected, who you no longer need anymore because you legally can't run anymore. So you're basically going to be a lame duck anyway in about another year. Mm-hmm. And once the midterms happen, more than likely, they're probably going to lose the House anyway.
Yeah.
So it's going to go back to, split Congress. Nothing happens for the next 2 years except for whatever he pushes through executive order. And that'll get tied up in court.
Yeah, well, then there's also, they haven't seen a piece of tech oligarchy legislation that both sides of the aisle haven't loved 100%. It did. So,
Right.
the moments of bipartisanship, like Carlin used to say, bipartisan just means a larger than normal deception is taking place.
Right.
It's and there's really no way around that.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, Dave, as Till dropped out, I don't know if she heard it. Could you repeat?
I heard
it? Oh, okay.
Dog, these motherfucking idiots, they believe anything. Dave,
I know.
I think I hear what you're trying to ask. Because, like, how do you save face from this?
No, he was asking, like, where do we go? What happens from here?
That's what I'm saying. But, like, what happens from here? What happens with MAGA?
I see what you're saying. Yeah, because
they still gonna eat this bullshit the fuck up.
Somewhat.
On a political aspect, yeah, I heard. I think Steve said, was it Steve or Dave? Steve, I think Steve, you said when it was you gotta play to whoever's paying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so he is playing to whoever's paying, because that's why he switched up so quick.
Yeah.
Because them motherfuckers was like, yeah, we're gonna stop this funding if you keep talking that shit. And he was like, you know what, guys? That's an act of terror. It's crazy work over there. What the fuck? And we can't give out Epstein's information because it was fake. That wasn't even real, y'all. Stop with the bullshit. Like,
Well,
Nick,
see, all those videotapes was just nothing but child porn that the sick son of a bitch downloaded out on the internet. That's all that it was. There's no evidence here. There is no client list. Look away. Believe what I tell you. Here's the shiny ball. Here you go. Go back to sleep, everybody. Go back to sleep.
Yeah, and that's where we are, because like I feel that there's a huge distraction going on, and I don't feel that it's outside of our country. I feel there's a huge distraction going on in our country. I said it a couple months ago that I think that the weather machines is doing extra overtime right now, and I don't know why ain't nobody listening or why that's not a fucking good ass topic. But for some reason, I think it was our show, Marcus, when I said that I had a conspiracy theory that the Chinese people had sent over these balloons to fuck with our weather, because their weather machines is better than ours, and that's why they fucking with us, and that's why we keep getting all these crazy ass days of weather, because that's happening. Because I don't understand how this whole time, how come China ain't been popping their shit recently?
Well, if the weather has anything to do with any kind of manipulation, which some of it is manipulation, some of it I believe is, Mother
Nature trying to get the reins on this shit.
Yeah, I believe Mother Nature's like, I'm tired of all you motherfuckers, and I'm about to get rid of you. But to a degree. But if it was China doing it, then we would have already been after them. And which we're all. I mean, if you look at that bill, If you look at
Marcus, we would not be after them because we working with them niggas too.
No, what I'm saying is if you look at what they're doing in that bill, I looked at a lot of the military spending, and a lot of it is shipbuilding that they plan on doing, and a lot of it is designated for the South Pacific. And the only reason why you're doing a whole lot of shit in the South Pacific is you are trying to build up, either trying to threaten China as a show of force, like we used to do. We used to paint all the ships white and just go all the way around the world, like, haha, look how tough we are, and to try to scare countries. Or you're planning on actually doing some shit. And I know that right now, as far as the tech, China is kicking our ass, and America does not like playing second fiddle. And I'm wondering if we just got people who are crazy enough who are deciding, you know what, man, we don't have enough, stuff for the military industrial complex to keep, making money off of, making weapons and stuff. And I think we can go on ahead and just go for China at this point. And I think that they're that crazy enough. Like, they felt Afghanistan was cool. They could do Afghanistan. They can do Iraq. We can start some shit over there in Ukraine. That's small enough. We can still make money. We can peddle weapons. We can test shit. We can do all of that. And then they started believing the BS and thinking, we can do that with Iran too. And I think that, like, they saw enough. They're like, we don't know. Let's back off that one for the time being. But as long as Trump is there, it's all up in the air what'll happen. But I really think China, they're looking at China as weak because they've been able to push into a couple of theaters China's in, and China's not done anything.
No, but China's also been very, very busy building out the BRICS.
Yeah.
To 129 countries now, and one of the most like openly hostile to Western government statements at the last summit that they did down in Brazil a few weeks ago.
Right.
And as that forms up more, I think you're going to see more of the saber rattling in the South China Sea and the South Pacific.
Yep. Because
but,
I mean,
yeah, no, but China has been popping their shit off, Teal. It's just been on the BRIC side of things, not necessarily like just openly hostile to the U.S. From their press or their diplomatic corps or anything like that.
Well, it's saying they getting their pockets up.
It's been on the economic side, but America, when you start talking, we're about to start taking business away from you. That's fighting words for America. It's like, no, you want to start digging in my pockets. It's time for us to start bombing some shit.
I hate to say that, but that's any white man. White men don't like their pockets touched.
Hey,
you tell me all that all the time. You said you want to piss a white man off, touch his pockets. That'd be the quickest time you ever see a white man. You can tell a white man anything. You can call him a name from Timbuktu all the way down. That motherfucker, you know what, buddy? You got it. You know what? But touch that motherfucking pockets. I bet you Timothy get mad as a bitch. I've seen it.
And I'm telling you, and China is coming after. I mean, and the thing about it is another thread that you would look at, just looking at it from a military standpoint. Yeah. Well, a military standpoint, if I'm super paranoid, China has the ability to say, you know what? Hey, let's build 15 carriers and get them done in the next 2 years. And they have the ability to put that pressure down on their military industrial complex over there to get that done. Whereas us, we say, hey, we need 15 carriers. 15 carriers is probably going to take about 8 years to get it done over here, because you gotta get the money approved first, go through Congress, put it through this bill. It has to go back through committee. Okay, now let's see the House look at it. Now, okay, the Senate needs to look at it. And it's going to go through all this approval process. And then we're going to fight it out through which company we're going to have do it. Is it going to be BAE? Is it going to be Lockheed Martin? Is it going to be, and we're going to go through all of this. And then after we go through the bidding war, then we're going to go through concept designs on what we want and the process of actually getting it done, and then the testing and the getting it done, and then the testing and getting one that gets all the problems and kinks worked out. By the time we can mass produce that, we're looking at years on down the road. And that's one thing that I would say militarily wise, if I was fearful of China in that way, would make me worry, because China and Russia can build quick. They can build very fast.
Can I chime in?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so this is just my inside scoop. This is my inside scoop from a messy Monday, Steve. See how we got I love how our shows be crossing, man.
Mm-hmm.
Let me give you a messy Monday insight of what you just spoke on, Marcus, and I'm glad that you even brought that up. I never thought my messy Monday could be political. Yeah. One of my second string boo thing. Hold that thought. Get off my altar, Medusa. I'm gonna pop your butt. That girl. Don't ever touch my altar. Sorry. So, my second string boo thing, right? He about to get promoted to first string. Depends on how he acts. He just got booted to Cali. He's a fucking welder. Okay? He's been back and forth to Cali for the last 3 years. Welding shit in San Diego. What else is in San Diego? Marine Corps base.
Naval base.
Fucking bases. A lot of fucking bases. A lot of fucking ports. A lot of fucking welders out there. They done sent because keep in mind, I'm at another port. I'm on the East Coast. They done sent a shit ton of niggas that I know to the West Coast to start building them motherfucking ships. They've been periodically
doing does business with a lot of the military bases and stuff like that. Even down in, and we have welders and stuff that we have boilermakers and stuff.
Think about how long y'all low key been sending them motherfuckers out on some sneaky shit. Just 2 years here, 2 years there, 2 years. They've been building these motherfuckers for a little minute. They just finally got the okay by the principal. These niggas been building BOMMMMS's in their room and they just got it okayed by the school to be able to bring it for the science fair project.
Well, I can tell you this: a lot of the companies that we deal with, like different hospitals and stuff like that, some of these other companies have kind of been a little, well, with the tariffs, still, we'll wait and well, we'll do this one now, and then we'll wait and do this one other.
Mm-hmm.
But the weapons companies that we deal with, they just run it, business, run it, and the military bases.
They be like, pass that shit. We'll figure it out tomorrow.
Yeah, because they got the budgets right now.
They got all the budgets.
And that's something which they did very carefully about Trump's big beautiful bill that I don't think a lot of people caught on to. What they did with this bill, I don't think I've seen too many times I've ever seen a bill done this way. And I'm not talking about what's in it. I'm talking about how they decided to do the funding. Some of the funding is retroactive. So some of the funding it's basically like, oh, since January, we already got that shit. Some of this stuff is like, okay, in a few months, we will get the funding. Some of this stuff is set, oh, well, this will go into effect
tomorrow.
Some of this is going to go into effect after the midterms. Some of this stuff is, okay, well, you have up until 2034 to do it. And so the way it's staggered out, where most of the bills, most of that shit is not right away. Most of that stuff at least a couple of years before most of this sets in. I don't think I've seen too many bills where there's so much stuff in it that is basically passed almost retroactively.
Now, I haven't had a chance to the whole bill, Marcus. Have you gotten all the way through it? Mm-hmm. Outside of the military stuff, have you seen what they said about the United States Department of Agriculture?
Oh my goodness, it's
okay.
I already told people. I said they're treating America like a chop shop. Everything's gonna be for sale.
Yeah. So I don't know if anybody else heard, but I recently got a big girl job, and I now have to read a lot of the regulations between USDA. Thank you, Steve. USDA and how they're feeding children and stuff. It's the craziest thing. All weekend, y'all. I backed out of trail rides this weekend. That's why I'm home. I backed out of dance practices this weekend. I stuck my ass in the house, and I've been on YouTube just looking up videos and listening to different webinars about the United States Department of Agriculture and these fucking school lunches. And it's the wildest shit ever. They don't understand. I am now in charge of a district that has the lowest test scores but the highest pregnancy rate. And they are feeding these kids ass. So I'm like, y'all aren't fucking with one generation. Y'all fucking with two generations. And you think this generation gonna get up and want to fight for this country? And just like you said, Marcus, it's a chop shop, bro. Every department is like a chop shop. From the Virginia Department of Education, from the Department of Agriculture, to the everything except for military.
National parks, everything.
Thank you. Everything except for the military. For real. And that's the gist that I got while I was reading the Big Beautiful Bill. I was like, oh, this nigga only care about his friends and the military. This is a young 6-year-old boy playing Barbie in house with an entire country. Mm-hmm. This is, y'all see this, right? Like, this is a child playing with his sister's toys and his toys, letting his sister know, you can't come fuck with my shit.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of, and that's funny that you say this, is some young teenager at military academy school playing Stratego or Risk with his friends, wanting to conquer the world.
Yes.
He has his own little armies.
Yes.
Except he's doing this in real time with real equipment and real consequences.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say he didn't go there for fun. He got sent there.
We're giving him too much credit. He don't understand any of this shit. I guarantee you that. I mean, if you really look into Trump, like how I've studied Trump over the years, this dude is a deeply incurious man. He don't really care about too much. You got to dumb everything all the way down for him. What he's done is basically the people who on the right who have wanted to get things done, he's basically took everybody's wish list of the past probably 60 years and said, let's greenlight it all. That's what he's doing. And let's not do this and test to see how it works. Let's just do it all at once. Like they wanted to get rid of the Department of Education forever. That's what they're working on trying to do at this moment right now. They wanted to be able to like drill in the national parks and sell off different parts to corporations. They're doing all of that now. Like even they put money in there for whaling. So for companies that want to do whaling, that's in there. Like, I mean, some of the shit that I was seeing in there, I'm like, I've never seen shit like this in a budget bill.
He brought back coal mining, y'all. He brought back black lung. And that is crazy to me. That man brought back black lung. And not to mention, I saw something about Yellowstone might be erupting or some shit.
Yeah, I heard some things about Yellowstone. I think that's just bullshit to get clicks on Twitter.
Okay,
no, they will be drilling in Yellowstone though.
That's what it. That's
they're going to be drilling
is.
in Yellowstone.
They're drilling in Yellowstone. Thank you.
Oh, isn't that lovely?
He opened it up for like drilling, like damn near everywhere.
And that's the thing, like, because I was like, I thought I read that wrong, and I was like, I don't think tip drilling. That's insane. Drill music, wow, crazy. But drilling in Yellowstone. And thank you for bringing up the national parks because they used to be conservatory. You couldn't touch that shit.
No.
All that's gone.
You couldn't touch that shit. Well, then they better blow up Mount Rushmore too, then, bitch.
Yeah, they find lithium deposits at Yosemite, man. The falls will just be some big slush pond for to extract the lithium.
The buffaloes is gonna die. I'm just thinking about the ecosystem. Think about it on an ecosystematic type vibe. The buffaloes is dying.
They said
fucking our shit up.
They don't give a shit at all.
The only ecosystem they care about has to end with economy, like economy.
Oh, no, me system. Goddamn.
Things they care about.
Fucking white boy out here telling us he making weather machines. Nobody's listening.
No.
White boy literally got on the panel, was like, yeah, I be making cloud machines. We do that shit. We be making clouds.
Well,
and then Texas gets flooded.
Right. 2 days before.
So, okay. So I think that is a giant red herring.
Yeah.
I think that the cloud seeding thing might have 2% to do with the overall weather thing. I think people need to look a lot harder at NextRad.
Right.
And they need to look at like smaller scale HARP type frequency machines. But I think the little Peter Thiel twink that was like, oh yeah, no, we're definitely making weather. I think that's like I think that's a look over here, so you only look there.
Well, the cloud seeding also has to work in conjunction with EMF. It's not just one thing anymore. So they put where they're going to put up their silver iodine or whatever the crap they're spraying, and then in conjunction with EMF, that's how they can basically do their magic and make it rain, shake that giant rain stick, and then fly out areas that are slated for smart cities, valuable pieces of property, and all sorts of resources. These unnatural natural disasters happen just to be falling over.
Okay, wait, Steve, what's the name of that company you dropped on me? God damn it.
Oh, NextRad.
Oh.
NEXRAD. And I gotta hop off here, you guys. I'm sorry.
What?
Chores and
you're bailing on us, brother.
Yeah.
But it was at least good to have you on. It's been a minute since you've been on.
We got a good hour in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks,
we
Steve.
got a lot of good stuff on here, so got to talk about a lot. I guess before you get out of here, I'll say a year from now and 2 years from now, what do you think we're going to be dealing with?
I mean, it could go a whole bunch of different ways, but the one thing that's going to be consistent is the continued destabilization of America and the implementation of the digital prison grid. It's being set up, like the China thing is being set up. sacrificing Ukraine and then letting Europe get mad at Russia about that is also being set up. The continued balkanization of Syria ongoing. There's, always, you can always dangle Iran in front of people as a rallying cry. But one of the things that I see that could be happening is the I guess the fallout from the Epstein thing for Trump and MAGA. Remember a month or so ago when Elon Musk said, I want to start my own America First party?
Yeah.
After they had their little WWE breakup. I think that Elon's going to emerge as a much larger political player. Not that he can run for office because he's not an American, but he can definitely fund people, and we've seen what happens in terms of public opinion and good advertising and events and stuff like that when Elon interjects almost $250,000 into a campaign, or $250 million into a campaign. And I think that the potential for the capturing of not just MAGA, but like the right-leaning libertarians and a bunch of other idiots and dupes is huge. I think the potential for it is huge. And I think that even the right is starting to get their head around the concept of the uniparty now. That there really are, one big happy fucking family behind the scenes, and it's, Hacksaw Jim Duggan and the Iron Sheik getting pulled over in the same car every single fucking time.
God damn it again. Told you stop speeding.
Yeah, I mean, it's, and I did look, none of it's like set in stone or permanent or anything. There's all kinds of ways that everybody can, opt out of this and like reduce potential damage every single day. We talk about them all the time on the show. So if that's something that you would like to hear more about, check out AM Wake Up.
Definitely do that.
But Marcus, always good to see you, Dave. You too, Teal. See you tomorrow, right?
Likewise, man. Likewise.
I'll probably pick your brain during the week or something about a couple of these things as they come up. But
heck yeah, man.
You, brother.
Whenever, anytime. Take care, y'all.
All right. And I'll put this out there to Yonina when he was talking about DARPA. DARPA, it operates as its own unique, separate entity. People who are in the military who work for DARPA do not work with anything else dealing with the rest of the military. It's almost like once you're in the military and you go off to NASA, you work for NASA at that point. You're not really, right? And David explained that to you. Once you go off to these different programs, you are no longer a part of the normal military, right?
No, you get adopted in those secret little programs and you become their bitch.
Yeah.
And they're the ones that make the ultimate decision on you as property of the United States military, not your whatever branch you came from.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a cheap dipping type of a thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like when people talk about Delta Force. Mm-hmm. Delta Force doesn't necessarily belong to any branch. They pull people from multiple branches. Mm-hmm. And you become now this whole different other craft unit. Now, you might go back for your evaluations and promotions and all that, but you're a separate unit.
Aren't they pretty much assigned to the NSC, National Security Council?
Exactly.
Yeah, they're kind of like the president's personal hit squad, I guess you could say.
No, what I'm saying is, like, if you're up for, let's say you're Army and you're Lieutenant Colonel, you go back to some kind of command, and somebody in the Army will give you your evaluation for promotion, to make you from Lieutenant Colonel to Colonel. But as far as reporting into any kind of base somewhere, you have a whole different command. And when I say Delta Force, for those that don't understand, Delta Force is basically a combination of recon, airborne, And when I say recon, I'm talking about Marine Force recon, talking about 82nd Airborne, typically, Navy SEAL, some combat controllers, possibly underwater divers. I mean, it's so they take a mixture of people from specialized skills and put them all on this one team.
Yeah, they take the best of the best.
Exactly.
Third. Sorry, I couldn't help it.
But the crazy thing about it, these ain't the 30th Surge type. They're the like some of these dudes are like highly intelligent.
Oh yeah, well when you take the best of the best, you're not only taking the highest physical ability, you're taking the highest mental.
Yeah. Like you guys remember Men in Black, right? When he's sitting in that room with all those people. That's kind of like that kind of situation.
That's why I had to say it, because he was like, because I want to be the best of the best of the best of the best. Do your theory. I'm sorry, that's exactly what I heard.
These are the people who are the utmost driven, the utmost who like
they bleed America.
Yeah, exactly. You completely bought in. You bought all the programming. And it's like if they told you, yeah, go ahead and take out that whole village, it actually ensures the lives of Americans. They don't question it, they just do.
They're the type in training, they all get passed out the prints. And they all have to read the prints. And the ones that come back and like, fuck yeah, that was a badass book, let's do it. Yep. Well, they're the ones that get selected, but the other guys are like, yeah, that was a good book, but man, I don't know.
Pretty twisted.
Right. They're like, oh, you're going back to your unit. Okay. You know, have fun in the motor pool, Sergeant.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So those people who are willing to get into that stuff for God and country and just do whatever without question, it's not the rest. It's not the rest of us. And also I wanted to bring up, that's kind of a good thing that we went on to that topic, because it brings in how compartmentalized even like this Epstein stuff is. Everybody who's involved in different things don't know different things. That's the reason why the Trump administration's way of dealing with this has been so weird, because when it's something on the level of like the operation of Epstein, when you're pulling in all of these files and all of these evidence, it gotta be all hands on deck to collect all this information. Now, if you go in and you try to get rid of or destroy or hide somebody who's not involved, who's not in that compartmentalization, is going to see and get word and start leaking to reporters or start telling other people. And so that's the reason why they're in such a touchy situation. If they didn't destroy the stuff almost immediately, then it's hard to kind of go back. Now it's kind of like a cop. Yeah, if he took 50,000 off of that stack right there while he was in the house, nobody knew about that count. But if they go and count it and it's been checked into evidence, it's a whole lot harder to go in there and go mess with that money after that.
No, what they did with all those Epstein files is they just gave it back to the rightful owner. Yeah. So we don't have them. No.
A one-way trip to a certain little country.
Certain little country, you know.
Because they're not going to destroy it.
No, they're not going to destroy it.
Think, they just destroyed it. They're not destroying that kind of stuff.
No, that's power. That's the power that you're going to use to control the people that run the world. They ain't giving that up, baby doll. They just got to get it into their hands, out of their associates' hands, because we don't want nothing to happen to any of that information. So,
hey,
what?
I just had a Jimmy Neutron brain blast. I don't know if you saw the tism happen, but it happened. What if this had something to do with Diddy? The timing is so crazy. I'm sorry. Just think of the timing. Oh. They, like you said, why didn't they do it in the beginning? Why didn't they take the 50K off the cuff? What if Diddy had a copy of the list?
Well, when you look at it, Diddy had to be involved with intelligence.
Something. He had to be involved in something. He was in too many of the same rooms as some of the people on that list.
Oh, yeah.
There was nobody say.
Let's not forget who Diddy's cool buddy was, Mr. Barry himself, you know.
Thank you.
So it goes up. It all connects. Everything
connects.
Well, that's what I kind of disagree. I don't know how much evidence like Diddy would have had on the real powerful.
Listen, and that's the point, Marcus. That's the point. Duh. You're not gonna give the gun to the next in line. You're not gonna give the dirty gun to the third in line. You're gonna give the gun to a flunky.
Yeah.
Come on, think like the mob now. Think like the mob. This is the mob we fucking with. You're going to give it to somebody that don't matter. You're going to give it to somebody that can take a hit. You're going to give it to somebody that makes people go, there's no way that person can be connected. Obviously, they the fucking flunky.
All right.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Dave.
Hey,
That's
you're welcome, Jill. You're welcome, Jill.
Thinking,
Hey, comments are here.
While y'all were talking, I said, yeah, why the fuck wouldn't they take it off the cuff? And I don't care what nobody say. That Rico, that Diddy Rico don't sit with me. There's no way you're pulling a Rico on a DV. I don't care. I don't care what you say. Diddy has something to do with something.
Because I honestly think that we look at the people who are involved and they just feel like that was a way to come up. He's a big name, and it's a good way for them to get promoted up by going after him. And yeah, okay, the guy did beat the hell out of her and other stuff, but
of course he's a douchebag.
Yeah, of course he's a douchebag. A lot of celebrities are.
You don't think he's gonna beat down his bitch? That's how you keep him in line. Come on,
his daddy was a pimp.
You got exactly. And he worked for that cat that was the head of the heroin in the 60s and 70s in New York City. Yeah, it's ruthless. You got to beat your bitches to keep them in line, or they're gonna stray off the block. And you need them to be bringing in your taste every night. Teal, you know what I'm saying?
Listen to him. Dave know what he's talking about. Okay,
yeah.
But that don't warrant no Rico.
Doesn't.
And it sucks that I even have to say this sentence, but this is why it bothers me so much. They ain't put no Rico on my ex. That nigga tried to murder me.
Yeah, but
so like, how are you pulling a Rico on a DV?
Remember what I said. It's about who you piss off.
Right. I'm saying, but I think that nigga they ran that man's house. They found everything they needed. Where are the tapes that y'all were talking about? Where's all the incriminating
the rightful
stuff?
owners have them, Teal. We've covered that already. The rightful owners have them.
They some of the same people, Marcus.
But what I'm saying is, if it was an intel op to that level, he would have been given that information anyway. They wouldn't need to raid his house to get the info.
Well, you need to get the physical copies, man.
Yes.
You got to make sure that they don't leak out because you don't know, that you might be on that shit. So it's better that you get them so you could like flick out those fucking hard drives that you're on and keep all the shit that everybody else is on.
But I just have a hard time believing Diddy had evidence on like Obama doing some shady stuff. I just have a hard time believing that.
Why would you think any different if Obama was part of that milieu? You don't think that?
I think he'd show up to the party. I think he'd show up to
down the basement with a fucking little boy. Come on, man.
I think he'd show up to the party, but not do that with a Diddy. I think that he'll do that on the Epstein level, and that's the reason why. Like, if you look at the amount of world leaders and CEOs that were at the Epstein stuff, Diddy's nowhere. He's not in the same ballpark.
No, he's on the JV team, bro.
No,
he's not varsity.
Yeah, now Diddy had.
But they still got the same fucking coach.
Now Diddy had the Jay-Z's and Beyonce's and Hollywood people, which Hollywood people are already controlled and compromised. So I don't feel like that was like they really needed those people, because most of those people are idiots anyway. You just toss a little bit of bread at them and they're gonna go and say whatever you need them to say.
Well, they're entertainers. That's what they get paid to do.
Exactly. And so where I feel like
I don't
see, because Diddy was able to do all of this happened after what happened, Teal, for this to happen for Diddy. Think about it. What happened?
I hear you.
All of this
thing, yes, but
he did one thing, and all of this stuff started happening to him.
What did he do, Marcus?
This is why. Okay, Diddy was bigger than Jay-Z at one point in time. Puff Daddy was everywhere. Diddy was everywhere. He is a black icon in our community. Period. That nigga Michael Jackson for rap niggas. For real, he really is. Mm-hmm. Okay, so pause for that. Just hold that thought. Think about how many superstars have now been able to show those private parties they do for them sheiks in India and them sheiks in Dubai. Rihanna just did a fucking $8 million show for 6 motherfucking songs. Okay? Beyonce got flown out there for 20 fucking mil for somebody in Dubai.
So like money laundering.
Thank you. This is just now being seen. This is just now being shown, okay? Keep that in mind. I don't give a fuck what you say in reference to, oh, they might not have been on the same list. No, them names never made it to the list. You ain't never seen them niggas in there. Of course not. But somebody's son really likes Diddy. I don't give a fuck what you say. Saudi Arabia's son, whatever, Sheik Jr. over here can't stop saying, take that, take that. So to make this little motherfucker happy, we gonna let him go hang out with Diddy. Okay? Happy motherfucking birthday, Muhammad. See you when you get the fuck back, because they got that much money. It might be on some low-level shit. And when Dave said JV, I said, I get it now. These niggas so rich, they make shit happen for their kids. They make shit pop off for their teenage kids. They make these niggas wish come true because they got the bread. And they already connected to Epstein and the rest of the rich motherfuckers. So, hey, call that little take that boy. My son want to see him. Keep it up, I'd blow up your country. I'm just playing.
Or my son wants to suck his cock. Send him on over here.
Any fucking thing. They can do anything.
Just saying.
They got that type of money. And yeah, he is on the JV team, but he's still connected to somehow, some way. Might not be direct, but it might be their kid, might be their cousin, might got them fucking tooted up and booted, doing cocaine out of strippers, hooker's booty hole.
Well, when I look at Honey Trap,
for any of that's not unique in Hollywood at all. No. Like all of these celebrities,
they're the entertainers.
Yeah, all of these celebrities party like that. I mean, these sheiks or whatever, we're talking about families that are worth $1 trillion. There's nothing for them to say, well, here, take 20 million, take 8 million for this. They don't care. It's throwaway money for them. I don't think that they, and this is what I'm saying with Diddy has been for years. We have all known that he's done a whole lot of shady stuff. We had all known about the Kid Cudi stuff. People have always worried about, had theories about him that he killed off Kim Porter and a whole bunch of other people. All of those things said, nothing ever happened to him until he did one thing. What is the one thing he did, Till?
He popped out crazy to the fucking cartel.
Exactly.
What did he do?
Mouth off to the wrong fucking people. They say, we need to humble this motherfucker real quick.
Hold on, step back. I didn't hear what he did because I've been waiting for it. What did he do to violate? What was his original sin?
What his original sin is first, Lucian Grange, who he's tied in with, said, you know what? I'm going to hook you up with this great deal. He took him to the #1 liquor company worldwide. This company, all of your liquors that you drink, all of them that you know about, they own them all.
Okay.
This large conglomerate. They said, we're going to hook you up, and that's going to take you to the next level. Mm-hmm. Then he started claiming racism against them. Oh. And started screaming racism.
Oh,
and they're like, oh, for real? So that's how you want to come at us?
No, fuck me. No, fuck you type of a thing, right?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's not about like, list or people doing this or ops. It's about he spit in the face of people who are taking care of him, and they said, listen here, little nigga, we're gonna humble you down.
Homeboy got too big for his britches.
Exactly.
And the masters, just like the pimp, slapping down his bitch. Right? And sorry, you don't do that. Boom.
They said, we have covered up for this. We've let you do that. We've covered this. We have made this story go away, that story go away, done all that. Do you know who the fuck you playing with? They say, you know what? Don't worry about it. I got something for his ass. Because I guarantee you, somebody who's sitting at a boardroom somewhere, or maybe not even in a boardroom, he's sitting off on the island, and somebody brings him a phone and said, sir, we have a problem with Mr. Combs. What do you mean? That guy we just signed a contract with 2 years ago?
I put that little cocksucker on the phone.
Yeah. Get his ass, get that they didn't call Diddy. They said, get Lucian's ass over here tonight. And Lucian is sitting up there fucking absurd. I don't know. I can't keep him under wraps. Oh, don't worry. You can't keep him under wraps. I'll keep his ass under wraps. Let me teach him a little lesson real quick.
Yeah. Rougher Diddy ever since. Hey, they need to free R. Kelly.
When you get too big for your britches, then you find out that, oh, you think you got billions, you think you were untouchable. No, there's somebody who's really untouchable, and they remind you of that shit.
Obviously, not even Epstein. They touched.
Yeah, man.
Exactly.
Hey, yo, they really saying Epstein committed suicide too, y'all.
Nah, what happened with Epstein is Epstein let people who are outside of the purview catch him. That's what Epstein did. Epstein got too sloppy. That's all it was. Because even when the whole Acosta stuff happened, I'm trying to remember who was saying it. Basically one of the reporters who had the whole Epstein list and all that. Basically, it was one cop down there in Palm Beach County who got wind of Diddy because not Diddy, but Epstein, because somebody said that this man over here, he did this, and to me, this is what his house looked like. This is what his genital, all that shit looks like. And that cop was like, he did what? And so he went to the magistrate and got a warrant and went in there and he started doing his job. And then once that got on the scene and they start finding that, they said, wait a minute, we got to shut this shit down. We got to shut this shit all the way down. And even if you look in Discovery, some of the paperwork that they show, it literally says like from Epstein's lawyers are like, we got to make sure we get this right, judge, because we already know we're not going to get this shit passed any other way. So they had to get it in front of the right eyes to try to cover Epstein. And then Epstein was out there still engaging in the same behavior while he's supposed to be on house arrest.
Right, because he's protected.
And so he just felt like, I'm so protected, there's nothing you can do to me. And then eventually it came up again like 10 years later. And they're like, okay, now we got to do something because now too many people know what the fuck you were doing. You didn't let information get out. Yeah. And now people are on to what the hell we got going on. So somebody got to be the scapegoat so we can shut this shit down. And
basically, he let everybody know that there's a party boat offshore and shit. And once he did that, it was time for you to fucking take that swim back to shore you ain't never going to make.
Exactly, because I believe that this was going on before him with Robert Maxwell.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you study Robert Maxwell's history. You talk about spooks of spooks, man. That dude made Epstein look like what he was, his little protege, his little sidekick, man.
And that's what it is. Epstein started getting sloppy and letting too many people see what the hell was going on. And when he did that, he got to go.
Or was he even killed?
I don't know.
Hillary's brother, who died 3 weeks before Epstein did, and I've seen pictures of him. I think we even showed him. I saw one picture with, I think, Clinton. I'd be like, yeah, that's Epstein and Clinton. They're like, no, that's Hillary Rodham's brother. What? And it's like, oh, so I mean, it's crazy to even bring it up, but in this day and age, at least those questions need to be asked. If anything, to eliminate them, because there's a lot of funky stuff going on. And, the conspiracy theorists that Epstein is snorting lines off hookers' tits with Elvis on some island, right? With Jim Morrison, photographer, with a camera, might be true. I ain't saying they are. But when it comes to the Epstein thing and that evidence, at least ask the question. Where's your brother's body, Hillary? Why don't you disclose what he died from, Hillary? No. So
because that's where I on that one, I'm kind of, I don't know. I leave it either way. I can lean either way. But they could have just got him out of there and said, okay, we're gonna move on. We're gonna have somebody else do this, and you get your retirement. You go off here. You've been a good soldier.
Yeah, Ghislaine, you're gonna do some time down at Club Fed, right? And you, by the way, we're gonna bring in your hair coloring. So every time you're on camera, all those old gray roots are definitely covered up. And you're gonna do your time.
The one thing I do not believe is that this man killed himself in a cell. Now I believe if he's no longer with us, if he did die, it's because somebody went in there and they killed his ass.
Hell yeah.
So they killed him or they snuck him out, but I do not believe he decided, you know what, poor beautiful world, I'm going to end it. No, I don't believe that.
That's an impossibility. 100%. He is either doing coke off a hooker's tits or they brought somebody in there to
Or
snap.
Michael Jackson.
or young boys.
Oh yeah, hey man.
Because
I
I
hope
did
he
hear,
learned his lesson.
I did hear rumors about him and what was it Lex? How come I can't say his name?
Lex Friedman?
Wexner.
Wexner, yeah.
So I heard rumors that there's a possibility that that's where some of that money came in because he was already tooting that thing up for him.
Right, but you notice that Lex Wexner's not in jail.
I'm
Is he?
sorry, Phil. I saw your face. I'm sorry.
Ugh.
But I heard the rumors that it's possible that they did have a relationship.
Okay, so they're sexual deviants. It makes sense to me. I mean, a hole's a hole, baby doll.
I know we talked about
Not for me.
Exactly.
Okay, I just went down a rabbit hole last night about some like a hole shit. Did y'all know that Nero, Caligula's like predecessor, castrated a boy
For
to
what?
play as his wife?
His same wife that he killed.
That he killed.
Oh,
What the fuck?
fuck.
Yeah,
White people shit.
Bro,
Hey, white people, us white people, we got some fucking devious shit going on in our brain.
So,
he killed the bitch and then castrated a boy to play the bitch.
Well,
he didn't castrate him at first.
No,
he killed her, and then he saw a boy that he was like, man, it looks just like her. And so he took the boy, made the boy dress up like his dead wife that he killed, and then he castrated him later, and then continued on the relationship as if it was his wife. Yeah. I mean,
these rulers are sick fucks, man.
I mean, you do know the history of gymnasiums, right?
No.
Like the whole gymnasium thing comes from ancient Greece, and it goes into pedestry.
Really?
Yeah.
Where they give a bunch of like naked wrestlers and shit, grease them up.
You had to be naked in the gym.
Yeah.
And so all of those old, like the great philosophers that they want everybody to learn about, like Plato and Aristotle and Socrates and all of them, they believe that you are not completely enlightened unless you mess with underage little boys. That's
so they're all fucking pervs and shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like Crowley.
Like, this is sick as hell.
It's like Crowley, you know, the sanctum to God is the anus. That type of shit. You know, I gotta get with God. Bend over,
He
son.
always come in at the wrong point. He always come into the conversation.
Yo, Emmanuel, I'm telling you, egregious behavior.
Every time.
Nefarious behavior, sir.
Egregious pause, definitely. But yeah, when you start looking into a lot of this stuff, that's what was going on. I mean, you look into a lot of these royal families. The reason why it became this one man, one woman thing, because a lot of ancient cultures used to be men with multiple wives, because a lot of these royals didn't want to marry a woman. And
they've been throwing off the balance for a while.
So you know how they talk about a beard or whatever, a mask or whatever. A lot of them were marrying one woman and still having
lavender marriages
going on over here at night.
They're called lavender marriages.
Yes,
I just learned about them. I'm thinking.
Really?
Yeah, a lavender marriage is when a straight woman marries a gay man and allows a gay man to continue his gay life.
Oh, so it's like Reverend Wright's Lowdown Club.
Yes.
Lowdown Club. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that shit ain't nothing new. I mean, that's been going on since Roman times.
Since Roman times. Beards, when men get girlfriends, and they actually
before Roman times into the Greek times.
Beards, I don't know why. For some reason, I always feel like beards are a little more fakey, in my opinion. Like a lavender, like the more lavender marriages that I've seen, it's like a regular bitch just living her life, dating whoever she wants to for the rest of her life, married to like a flaming gay that loves to decorate, but they have like kids. They raise kids. Is got a boyfriend.
Is it still a lavender marriage when they're both gay?
I believe so too.
Okay.
Hey, homeboy can knock up his dykey wife, not even have to nail her. Okay, a little IVF treatment, boom, 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 it's done. And guess what? Now you're selected to do the IVF. Well, then it doesn't even have to be the old man who's dishing out the eggs.
Sorry, boo. But for some reason, beers, I always feel like beers are dudes that perpetrate their marriage. Like they really be like a loving husband and they be with a chick, but they be out doing gay shit.
As the saying goes, the Greeks invented orgies and the Romans perfected by adding women. Wow.
Good job, Adingo. Hey,
Do
boo.
you know? Do you know where Valentine's Day comes from?
Oh, Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day comes from the holiday, was it Cupernalia, where they would like where it says that would you be mine or whatever. They would literally like locked their they would lock these doors and like make them pair up randomly, and it was just wild orgies of okay, hey, how are you doing? Okay, I guess you'll be my partner. And yes, they were mating rituals.
See, okay, so this is something I wanted to ask before we get too far off. This is a general question. I just want to ask everybody. This might upset some people, so sorry ahead of time if you're sensitive. But I know every time we talk about these tapes, these lists, these people, this, that, and this third, it's always pedophilia, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's always pedophilia. Why is that the worst thing? Like, seriously. Because, like, when I think about these tapes and I think of, like, Bohemian, what the fuck ever it's called.
Bohemian Grove.
Yeah. When I think about that, other things that cross my mind are just insane. Human hunting, the human sacrificing.
Yeah.
The sacrificing the kids. Like, outside of the pedophilia, like, stop touching the babies. Please. Stop touching the kids.
No, Till, that's where I'm at. That's what I believe. Like, I'm like, I don't get why everybody is queuing in on this one category.
One part. Thank you. It's like it hits a glass ceiling, bro.
I believe everything is on the menu. That's like I said earlier. It's like Squid Games. I guarantee you that's going on over there. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we got some bestiality stuff going on.
Thank you.
I think
in the half humanoid, they probably experimenting on people, and y'all were
I in the Dr.
pedophilia.
Moreau. Like, I honestly believe once they get to this level of richness, and these people are never satisfied because their soul is already so screwed up, they just are doing anything.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like being a heroin junkie.
Creative can't get past. You're messing with children. They can't get past. Their mind can't go further than that.
No, and that bothers me.
Sorry.
And I joke with my brother. Like, y'all know I crack jokes all the time. I'm glad that y'all know I'm the comic relief on these very serious situations. But like, I talk to my brother and I'm like, you know, I'm at an age where my friends are now volunteering or becoming coaches for football teams, little league teams, cheerleading. And, you know what I'm saying? I got people that are incorporating themselves in children's lives. And I said, and it's gotten to a point in my life, just with how the world is, that if I hear, you know, man starting coaching such and such 8 and up, oh, that's what's up. He touching kids?
Ooh,
that's the fucking next thing I gotta add. Is he touch? And my brother busts out laughing. He was like, that's crazy. I said, but it's serious. I gotta start asking, like, y'all heard, do he be touching kids? Oh, he good? Oh, okay, cool. What's their record looking like? Now I can ask the cool questions. But out my mouth, the second question is he touching kids? Because I've already had 3 people I went to high school with doing time because they were touching on fucking kids.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, that sucks. It really fucking does. It's so fucking common, but it sucks. But we got to get past stuff because, like, there's going to be a point in time where y'all going to find out they done made people into half humans, and they've been fucking half humans for the last 10 years. Y'all late. Well, you know what I'm saying? Or they snatching up babies and taking the echo-crock-a-lock along, and now they immortal. And they still fucking kids. Like, what the fuck?
Well, remember that that place we talked about. I'm blanking on it right now.
Bohemian Grove?
No. That's in what country? What country is that we were talking about? Prospera.
Oh, down there in like Honduras, out there on an island on Honduras, Peter Thiel type thing. Yeah.
They already showed that they were doing all kind of crazy stuff down there. So if that's what's going on there, I'm pretty sure whatever's on that Epstein Island was probably even crazier. And it's just a matter of which part of the crazy amusement park do you want to go to?
What's the name of that movie? Fantastic Island or such and such. He had the half
Dr.
Moreau.
Thank you. Val Kilmer in the half human niggas. When I think of Epstein Island, I always think of that movie because that shit freaked me out as a kid.
Yeah.
Half dog people? And then if you drop regular people on the half dog people and they mate with the regular people, now you got a 1/3 dog person, probably got some super hearing, might grow a little extra hair, be super fast. Now we got fucking dog soldiers, leads into another fucking movie. I'm just saying, art imitates life.
Well, maybe Al Gore is really getting a little bit from the man bear pig. And South Park was dead on.
They don't lie.
Nope.
And I'm gonna keep that 110%. I lived in Colorado. I've seen every part. I lived from the Springs to the north side, almost all the way up by goddamn Loveland. From the Springs to Loveland, as far east as Aurora, as far west as Golden. I've seen every part of Colorado. South Park don't lie. That shit's scary. So bad. It's Simpsons for Colorado. That shit is scary. So yes, Al Gore's probably is getting bit by the half bear pig.
Yeah, man, he's trying to bend him over, and the man bear pig's like, no, you're the bottom, Al. You're the bottom, Al, not me. I'm the top.
See what I'm saying?
I do. I do. And in this crazy world, you can't dismiss it anymore with genetic technologies and the cloning, because there's never been a clone. My ass. If the technology is available, there's somebody getting funded in some dark lab in some part of this world that's making them little half clone baby kids.
Okay. I just read an article that said that there's 8 babies alive, or 3 babies alive that came from 8 specific DNAs. Because now there's DNA splicing these babies.
Yeah.
Not only can we just pop them and put them in whatever the fuck we want to put them in, but now we about to start splicing DNA on babies. And you telling me they not making half humanoid?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what kind of scandal will it be also? Let's say, for instance, it's not in anything like doing that. What happens if you found out that this politician's kids are all geoengineered?
Oh, you mean like Obama's?
And I'm saying, like, they literally said, well, we want the kid to be this tall, eye color this, blah, 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 blah. And they did that because on that one island, Prospera, one of the things that they were doing is they were recycling women's menstrual fluids.
Yeah. Oh, you saw that Yes Theory show.
Yeah, I saw it. The lady was talking about. I'm like, you're doing what? She was like, yeah, because you basically have, what'd she call it? Like, you have like what did she say? A pre-starter kit for a human?
I don't really remember the details, but I remember that whole segment. That was after the guy was experimenting with brain cells for biocomputers. And I remember in that, they're like, well, how are you allowed to do this here? And one of them was very blatant. They're not hiding it because we can't do it anywhere else in the world because of regulations. But here we can. And very matter of fact, Yeah.
Hey, I might have seen you something, Marcus. I don't know if you can play it or not.
I can try. Where are you sending it to me on?
Twitter.
Okay.
Because
but that's what I'm saying. When I know for a fact that they're literally doing this kind of experimentation, they are doing, this stuff for a fact, then how do I dismiss that that's not a possibility of what's going on? Because maybe this politician, they can't have kids. They tried having kids. And so they're going to get their kid one way or another. And they did it through some kind of way, which is illegal in most countries. Mm-hmm. That kid, what happens legally with that kid? Because once you come back into the States, that kid might not be legal to be in there. You know what I'm saying? It gets into some dicey territories. So it's like everybody always focuses on sex because it's salacious. But what kind of other stuff are they possibly doing that we just don't know?
Speaking of clones, this is what Freeman said a long time ago from Freeman TV. He has the proposition that Obama is a clone of Akhenaten and Big Mike is a clone from Queen T. And this right here is, I don't know if this is his picture, but there is statues of Akhenaten and Queen T, and half of their face that he took a picture of each one of them, put it over there. And I can't say it's true or not, but we're talking about cloning, but damn, it looks a lot alike. It looks a lot alike. And he also did it with Obama's kids. And yeah, the face is pretty much synced up, man. So I just thought I'd throw something wacky out there, mix the conversation up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't rule any of these things out. I mean, I just don't rule it out, and especially if I haven't like had the time to like really dig into it and investigate it.
Mhm.
But I mean, well, you also said something else by saying that, then that throws off the claim of certain other people that what the Egyptians actually look like. 'Cause that's a big, fight in the whole Egyptology world.
Oh, they weren't white, brother. I'll
Well,
give you that much.
but that's not what modern science wants to tell you. That no, they actually looked more Arab.
I don't know. I wasn't there. What?
Well, what I looked at is when you look at do you look at any of the hieroglyphs and stuff like that of earlier time periods? I wouldn't say hieroglyphs is not the right word. The pictographs and stuff that they put up through the ages, you can see, okay, at these earlier stages, they looked more like this. At these later stages, they started getting lighter. And if you also look at the surrounding cultures, do you know which country around it which has the most similarities to ancient Egypt, belief systems, shared history, all of that?
I'm going to take a wag at say Somalia.
Close, not quite. Very close. Right below it.
Ethiopia?
Sudan.
Sudan. All right.
So that country that's right below it, which is known for having some of the darkest people on earth, is the place where they have the most commonality with ancient Egypt.
Well, it makes sense. I mean, it's a trip down the Nile, bro. That
Exactly.
Nile goes a long way. So you get yourself some boats and shit and float down there, kick some Arab ass, fuck their wives, and take over their shit.
Well, I believe that they were pushed out. They were just pushed further south as you had more conquering from the Greeks, which the Greeks conquered it for quite a bit of time, and the Romans conquered it for quite a bit of time. And as they did conquer most of the Middle East, and then as this larger Arab population comes in, it starts to, well, I don't believe it's all pushed out. I believe it's mingling. And so, it started to change the phenotypes somewhat. Now, I'm not saying that I believe that all of these people here are fake Egyptians who live there, but I'm saying that they don't look like their great grandfathers who were in that area. That's all I'm saying.
Empires do fucked up things to the empires that they conquer.
Yeah. Well, I mean, think about it. If a country is being conquered for thousands of years by other people, they're going to start to take on some of the phenotypes of those other people.
Oh, of course. I mean, there's going to be intermingling. There's going to be, sex is sex, brother. And when you're out in the field,
you brought up Somalia and Ethiopia. Well, I mean, Ethiopia was conquered I wouldn't say conquered, but they were strongly influenced by the Italians.
Mm-hmm.
And if you notice, they're phenotypically a little bit different than the other Africans who were right next to them.
I mean, look at the Philippines as far as phenotypes compared to China. Mm-hmm. The Philippines are very distinct. When you see someone from China and you see somebody from the Philippines, they're Asian, but you're like, you're a little different type of Asian. Well, it's the Spanish coming in way back when that conquered the Philippines, mixed with the local people, kind of change your phenotype. So you're like, yeah, you're Asian, but you're not quite Asian. You're not European, but you're not quite European. You're just kind of like, fuck it, a half-bred.
It's kind of the same thing. You start throwing in Thailand and you start throwing in Malaysia and some of those areas. It gets a little dicey when you get around those areas.
I mean, Jefferson.
Messy.
Jefferson has his little lineage with his what was her name, Betsy, I believe.
Yeah.
Well, it's a reason why I think I heard some like crazy statistic, like something like 1 in 6 like Black Americans are like related to Thomas Jefferson. No, Sally.
That was it. Sally. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean,
bro, there's so many in this state alone. In Virginia, there's so many in this state. alone that are related to that man.
Mm-hmm.
That
Wow.
shit's crazy. We used to be going to his house, and I remember my mom told me the history of him, and I was like, damn, that's crazy. Then I remembered how many Jeffersons I was in class with. We only lived about a 2-hour radius away from, you know what I'm saying, Monticello.
There we go. That's her name, Sally Hemings. Thanks,
Sally
Chris.
Hemings. There
Thank
it
you,
is.
Chris H.
I know I can remember the first name. I could not remember that last name to save my life. But you know, to kind of bring it back around to the Epstein thing, because I got a couple more questions for y'all. Because I've been thinking about this all week. And then one day, once you told me that like you like to swing through, I'm like, perfect. Now, let me put these questions to both of you.
Okay.
I myself did not figure like, now of the people who voted for Trump and who are the MAGA faithful is different people. I knew, yeah, he's going to lose some of those people who voted for him almost instantly. That's what happens. Every election, you have people who have buyer's remorse.
Sure.
Then I knew there was going to be the people who some of the stuff he's done is they're going to be like, well, wait a minute. Like I was for the program, but this is not the program. And
Right.
so I knew that I was going to get back to his like solid MAGA base. And I'm wondering, with this whole Epstein cover-up, how much of this do you feel of the actual like MAGA faithful that this is going to actually sway and peel off, or will they just find another way to deflect like a lot of them were doing, saying, oh, this is all Pam Bondi's fault? I mean, how many do you think are going to make an excuse and stay with him? Or how many do you think that this is actually the thing that'll be like, no, I'm off the Trump train?
I think the ones that are rational people, who are good people, who voted for him because he was fighting what they were also against, pedophilia, government overreach, the ones that have that critical ability will fall away, right? But the people that are part of the MAGA cult, you know, the people that will still believe him and vote for him if you shoot somebody in the face in Fifth Avenue,
yeah,
they're going to buy into it because they're prescribed to a specific channel of propaganda and information, and that channel is going to tell them what they want to believe, and they'll continue sipping down the Kool-Aid as they're eating the blue pills, no matter what evidence is presented in front of them. They're the ones from cognitive dissonance. Other ones will probably wake up and go, yeah, fuck this scumbag, I'm walking away. But ultimately, you're still fracturing segments of society. And I think that that's what these sick globalists want to do, is they want to fracture society at the most micro level that they can, let the phoenix burn so they can build back better. BBB, Big Beautiful Bill, their utopian society, that false dream that they so aptly think that they can achieve.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, I mean, it answers it. I'm just trying to figure out, of those, how many are,
I don't know.
How many are the faithful and how many are ones that could be rational and say, you know what, hey, this has crossed the line for me. I can't go any further.
Well, what if you lie and do another lie and get them back in hook, line, sinker again?
Right. Those are the ones that are in the cult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Fifth Avenue people.
Yeah.
But sometimes they tiptoe out. Because I mean, look at the Latins that voted for Trump. They kind of, I'm just saying.
So, well, yeah, you do have some of them who are still, they kind of got a little shake. They got a little shooken for a minute. And then
they back on. Yeah. I don't know.
It's like, we'll see. He stopped it from the ones out in the field. So see, he's not going after all. And they use that rationale to be like, okay, see, he is only going to go after criminals. He's not going to do that. And I'm like, y'all really believe that? Because he's just talking. He's already gave Tom Homan and little crazy Stephen Miller the leash to do whatever the hell they want to.
Come on.
Yeah,
he's not going to know who they feel like.
The little school kid that got beat up by all the brown folks, so now he wants to take revenge.
Yep. This is exactly what it is. I mean, you literally let one of the most out and out racist people you could and
Right.
have this much power. What do you think he's going to do?
Yeah, you think he's going to go there and be a nice guy and going, yo, Juan, you overstayed your visa, so you might want to think about leaving. Hell no, they want to go out and make a spectacle of this shit.
Yep.
He's deported less than fucking Obama than the other ones, right? But the difference between Trump and everybody else is that Trump makes a spectacle out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Then they have their new immigration secret police with the baklavas or whatever they call those things, unidentified. That's a good thing. And the MAGA cheers it on because they don't have the analytical ability to stop and go, okay, yeah, I agree with we have to get into on deportations, but secret police? Whoa, I'm not cool with that. But most of them don't have that ability of critical thinking, and they'll just buy whatever their leader in chief is doing as long as the rhetoric is given to the people that they want to hear.
Yeah, because I feel like the thing with it is how it's being done. Because I heard this conversation with Pierce and what's her name? A short-haired woman who used to be on MSNBC. I don't listen to her. Joanne Reed.
Oh yeah, Joanne Reed, Miss Wig bitch.
Yeah, I heard them having this conversation. It's like, God, I don't want to be on the side of defending Joanne Reed, but what she's trying to explain to you is how it's being done. Because he brought up, oh, Obama had all these people deported. Yeah, but the difference was it was like, okay, you didn't do what you're supposed to. All right, come with me. Time to go. It's not, let me kick down your door and punch you in the face. And it wasn't like that.
As the cameras roll, as you got your photographer on the fucking team filming the whole thing.
Yeah, it wasn't, I'm going to grab you and I don't give a fuck. I'm going to send you to CCOT over here and treat you like you're a terrorist.
Right.
Before it was just like, no, okay, let me find out. Okay, you're actually from Juarez. I'm going to take you back to Juarez. I'm not just going to drop you in some Latin American country, wherever, for you to fucking die.
And El Salvador fucking prison. You know?
And that's the difference between the way Obama, and I don't even say Biden, because both of them have been deporting the shit out of people.
Oh, fuck yeah, they have.
It's just this narrative that's been put into place that no, they're allowing all of these people to flood in. And here's something which blew my mind also. Mm-hmm. I live in a not only sanctuary city, and you know this also, Dave. We live in a sanctuary state.
Yeah, we do. Totally, bro. Totally.
And so living here, the amount of years I've lived here now, mm-hmm. I can't see, because I lived here before Biden was in power. Or shit, I don't remember. I'm trying to remember. I got here in 2017. So from then on, it's not like I've seen this flood of people come in all of a sudden. Yeah. It seems like the same amount of people who have been here. Now, are there people coming in? Yes, there are people coming in, there are people who are leaving. And if you're going to tell me 10 million people came in during the Biden administration, then where did these people go?
Oh, they went all over the country. You know, another thing about it that's different now as it was before is when, DeSantis is like, fuck you, Biden. Instead of us taking care of it, instead of Abbott, we're going to bust them up there and bust them all over to you. So they've taken them and essentially completed the third leg of the child trafficking arm, where the NGOs are taking these people, bringing them up to the border. The cartels are transporting them across. The cartels charge a fee. If they don't have that money, then you can pay us back later. They get dropped off at Catholic Services, right? Catholic Services, they're on the grift as well, complete the third leg. And now these people are just being put all over the country. And in many cases, I think these immigrants are as much victims as anybody else. Now I have to pay back the cartel. So ass, grass, or gas, Poncho, nobody rides for free. You're working in this sweatshop. You're in this brothel. You, son, well, you're gonna get a special vacation to Saudi Arabia, if you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. So
now, see, I bring up that because granted, yes, they are going different places.
Sure.
But you would see the influx of 10 million. That's a whole lot of people to see, a noticeable amount. And they're not going spread it to all 50 states. If you really think about it, most immigrants are coming in and they're going California, Nevada, Arizona, New York, Chicago. They're only really, if you really think about it, they're really only majorly in major numbers only going to a handful of places. And then there's twos and fews going, everywhere else. And so and then there's also the amount of people who, at the same time, this many people are coming in. All of those people aren't staying. Some of those people are getting sent out. And so if Biden is deporting all these people, you can't make this counter is that all these people are coming in and none of them are going back out.
But I think it's also a great way in a volleyball sense for Biden to spike the ball, bring in all this, and have Trump publicly say we're being invaded. So he can come up behind him and spike the ball and get the point, coming in and saying, I am doing what I promised to do in a spectacular way. We're getting rid of all these illegals and we're sending them back to where they came from. But to do it, well, we have to have secret police. We have to have all these other things. But, don't worry about it, MAGA. I got you covered. I'm your big daddy. And who the fuck called him his daddy recently? Some French president.
I've heard plenty.
I mean, he got a man wife.
Like MAGA influencers calling him daddy too.
Right. And meanwhile, you're setting precedences every time. And because those precedences are being used against the perceived adversary of his supporters, they don't give a fuck. But what they don't realize is now the Overton window is open. And in time, those same precedences that you supported, right, are now going to turn around and begin used against you. Yep. This is the thing that people don't understand when we let the government do these extreme things for extreme measures and don't question what is being done to do that. It's going to come back and it's going to bite us in the ass. I remember a long time ago, HR 645, I believe the bill was, back in probably 08, something. It was the bill to officially start building government residential camps, FEMA camps. And there was a commentator I was listening to, and I forgot who it was, might have been Ventura or somebody like that, that said, this is the Overton window. And what's going to happen is down the road, they're going to use these and justify more of them because of an illegal invasion of illegal immigrants. That's going to be setting the precedence. So eventually they can build these camps up, and eventually those camps are going to be used against the citizens. I know it sounds crazy, man, but what are y'all thoughts on that? Nature Boy just talking shit, or is there any relevance to it?
I'll give it to Till. You first.
Well, look at Alligator Alcatraz.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. No spectacle,
that's
by the
the
way.
first, that's the concentration camp.
Yep.
And that's the one we know about. They've been doing this shit for a while. Because I didn't even know DeSantis had been working on this for a second. Because the way they did the grand opening on this bitch, you would have thought it was a casino.
Okay.
But Alligator Alcatraz is just one of them right there. For all that, they might go ahead and just open up Alcatraz. I mean, fuck it. It's still together. Might as well.
Well, wasn't it a fucking little Barbie doll gnome that was at Alcatraz saying, nobody's ever escaped it, blah, 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 but we could do this. And I'm sitting there looking, and she's in an arrested out jail cell in front of it. I'm like, are you serious?
Yeah.
You're going to use this and rehab this prison that's been closed for 70 years and make it functional again? Oh, bitch, please.
But they turned the whole airstrip into a prison.
Say what?
They turned that whole Alligator Alcatraz used to have an airstrip. Used to be an airstrip. And they turned it into a prison in no time.
And also, it's right in a very protected part of the Everglades. I saw somebody else talk about this. And that is the Overton window. That's the camel getting his nose under that tent for developing of that area they've wanted to do, because you got a prison. Well, you need gas stations in the prison. You need hotels around there so people can stay.
You got to have a Dollar General.
You got to have $2 Generals and 3 check cashing places, Teal.
Hello.
Don't forget about the check cashing.
Employees that work there, they got to stay close. If y'all know about prison towns, you got to build an ecosystem for that prison.
If they're able to keep it open, because I've already heard that they're having problems with flooding and all kind of stuff inside of the prison.
It's in the fucking Everglades, people. What happens in the Everglades? It floods.
Yeah,
it's a prison. They don't
care. But what you will start to have as a problem if you keep having the flooding, you will start having the just building itself start to have issues where you can't keep it on. And so it becomes, the maintenance on it becomes so expensive that, okay, is it worth doing this? I mean, it's one of those things where it's like you got some kind of 17-year-old who like, hey, come up with some kind of crazy situation for these arch villains to be put in. And that's the people who are creating this shit. It's like, dude, what's wrong with the regular old prisons that we have and jails and confinement centers? You don't have to do all this alligator moats and crazy shit. It's just, it's cartoonish.
And two, if you know, alligators are really not man eaters. Okay. They really don't like us humans. So, but it makes damn good press, doesn't it, Marcus?
Oh yeah. That's the whole point.
He can go out there and grandstand, bring his little Barbie doll cabinet there with their titties, and they could just lie to you with that beautiful smile and those gorgeous eyes. And everybody's like, yes, Trump, save us, alligator alley, alligator prison, or whatever the alligator Alcatraz. And these dumbasses will believe it. It just goes back to what we've been talking about, the deceptiveness of this political theater that's being shown to the world. And people like us can see through it. We're like, oh, hell, I'm going to go hang out backstage to hang out with the director and see how this shit's really done. Where the rest of the world thinks that what they're seeing on stage is real. And they can't discern that it's all for their entertainment. It's all for their distraction.
What I've learned is the people who really do things and run organizations and the really intelligent people, most of the time are not the most attractive people. They're not the most beautiful people. They're not the people who you want to put in front of a camera when you see it. You go see like Another 48 and you see real cops versus cops in a movie.
Right.
Plenty of them, they're Dollar General suit. You know, they're kind of a little flabby, out of shape. Woman probably bad makeup. You know, they're not the most attractive people, but a lot of times that they're really good at doing their job.
Mm-hmm.
I learned this when I was in boot camp. When they first start saying, okay, everybody's going to need a checking account, and so they brought in two banks, one Navy Federal, and they brought in another one, Great Lakes Credit Union. Great Lakes Credit Union was a bunch of like moms, and it looked like your grandmother, somebody who you'd see at a cookout making sweet potato pie or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a bunch of older like moms.
Right.
Women from the ages of 40s to probably 60 something. Now, Navy Federal, on the other hand, brought in nothing but 20 something, maybe early 30 women in tight outfits with everything all pushed up with a lot of makeup and perfume on, to a whole bunch of guys who have been in boot camp around nothing but dudes for weeks.
Right.
And my spidey senses start tingling instantly, like, that's a trap. That is a fuck them. And so I went with Great Lakes.
Right.
I went with the grandmas and the aunties, the tias, abuelas. That's who I went with. All the guys who I know who went with Navy Federal were getting their money stolen from them.
Right.
Every single one of them.
Who the hell? Think about this, Marcus. I want to interject. Think about this. Who can you trust more? Your mother or that skank on the corner that's just looking to take your dollar? Now, that skank on the corner might have an ass you could bounce a quarter off and it would shoot to the moon.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes down to it, you want to trust your mother or the skank? If you're going to trust the skank because your dick is talking, well, you're going to get your money taken. You then did it to yourself.
That's my analogy for looking at this Trump administration. He put people who, I think she looks good on TV. I think he looks good on TV. Right. Perfect for casting. Yes, they're good at pretending to be in the role.
Yes.
They're not good at doing the job.
Bro, no offense to you, right? Mm-hmm. But ugly motherfuckers like me ain't going to get up on stage. The director isn't going to let us close. Now, he might let us be a rigger in the back and maybe open the curtains. And if we're really lucky, the sound guy, right? Yeah. But we ain't never get on that stage.
I mean, if I'm on the stage, I'm the, what do they call it? Not the co-star. I'm the Robin. I'm never going to be the Batman.
Right.
I'm always going to be the sidekick. I know that. I get that. Damn. And that's what a lot of these people are not paying attention to. A lot of these people that Trump put in power are like Tulsi Gabbard.
Oh, she's hot.
Pretty face.
Nice ass.
Willing to do whatever she's told.
Yeah.
Christy Nome. I mean, you can go through the whole administration. For politics, now I get it. Some people are like, yo, they're all right. For politics, these are all supermodels of politics.
Yeah. I think the only one that between us three that'll get on stage, Marcus, is Teal, because she's hot, but she's got morals, even though she is a shitbag.
Yeah,
so,
I am.
Yeah.
I stand 10 toes on my business.
Damn Skippy, darling. That's why we love you.
Cause fuck that shit.
Well, see, the reason why I think I'd probably be able to get on there, because I'm like the James Spader. I have a little charisma.
I could get on there as the MC and introduce the show, but that's the closest I'm getting, brother.
You're going to need some comedy relief, or depending on the film, you're going to need somebody to be the big guy on the side who plays the bodyguard who crushes people. And because, like, I remember I went to Warner's Brothers and I looked at the costumes for all those superheroes. And even me in like my slimmest in shape, like 4% body fat, I'm still bigger than all of those people. And I'm like, I could literally just like grab some of them and just hold up like little children.
Oh, you could be the one that sacrifices the kid to Moloch, man.
They
put you in a fucking black robe, a tight black robe with some red silk lining in it and shit. Maybe have me and a couple other motherfuckers, the uglier ones, behind you with some candles as you trounce up that little kid and throw up in that fucking burning hands. Shit.
That's not the gig I want. That's not the gig I want.
On stage. Marcus, thank you. Thank you for instituting faith in the world for me, brother.
Oh, wow. That's a good point here. Somebody said this right.
You're fucked. Either way, you're fucked coming.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, so and just another thing I was thinking about, like, I remember hearing when Obama was in office, oh, they're building off of all of these like these concentration camps too, and a lot of people on the right was swearing up and down that they were going to be the ones who were locked in all of these camps. Turns out, what these things were being built for was they were built to house people that they were going to deport. That's what they turned out to be.
Yeah.
And I mean, I just kind of wonder like why so many of these people on the right have this belief system that the government is coming to round them up. It's like, no, you're not being rounded. If anybody's going to get rounded up, it's going to be those who don't conform to all the way to the right or all the way to the left. Those people who are critical of both parties, those are the ones who would be getting rounded up. Because if you're able to lean to one side or the other, then they'll just put your whoever your sheep herder in power for a while and then get you back in line. And then when they need to do the other people, they'll just switch and do that. It's the people who are breaking away from the pack. Those are the ones who get rounded up. Not you people who follow whichever side is in power.
Well, when the lion's out on his hunt and he's going after the pack of gazelle, does he go straight for the middle of the pack or does he go after the ones that are straggling behind?
Always catch the stragglers.
Always. Lowest fruit, buddy. Lowest fruit.
Easy pickings. Easy pickings.
Yep. And that's, I mean, oh, sorry. I feel like I've talked too much. Till, hop in there. Take over.
Good.
I
went and I scarfed down a fucking slice of pizza. But no, you're absolutely right.
I would tell you to start talking at that point while you're eating.
Of course. And it's my last bite. So I was like, damn, I'm almost done.
Well, that sounds pretty good for dinner, man. I'm going to have to give me a pizza.
Bro, I mean,
a legitimate pizza pie, not a Bill Clinton pizza, okay? Or, so I want to make that perfectly clear. I don't do Podesta pizza.
Yeah, we're not doing that kind of stuff over here.
No, I ain't going to Comet Ping Pong, y'all. I ain't going to Comet Ping Pong.
Yes, there's no secret coding in food that we're talking about, all right?
No, I don't spend 20 grand on a pizza either, Marcus.
No.
No.
Hell no.
Or an IKEA bookshelf.
Like I said, I'm boring. I don't want none of that. I don't want none of that the extra toppings that they talking about.
No, man. No, I'm not into that. But surprisingly, a lot of people are, and they walk around in 3-piece suits, and the world hails them as leaders and great people.
Or just insane.
Well, they don't know it. They don't see it, or they don't want to see it. You know.
Well, I used to say all the time that we got to look at these people as Bond villains, but I feel like the one caveat I've been forgetting to say is,
What?
and I think probably because I didn't really even think about it this way, and I gave a lot of these people way too much credit. Think of these people as Bond villains, but think of these people as stupid Bond villains. I believe that a lot of these people, their intelligence does not match with their level of evilness. I mean, so I do believe that they have a lot of these nefarious plans and they want to do a lot of this stuff. Now, do I believe that they're capable of doing all the things that they want to do or that they try to do? No.
No.
But I do believe that they want to do it. Their heart is in it. Just the intelligence doesn't follow.
But the people at the top that hold the power might not be intelligent, but they are very good at hiring the people that are.
Well, the people at the top, they are intelligent. I do believe those people all the way at the top,
yeah,
they are. They're calculating things in a way
right.
that it's just the people that they have who are facilitating the task are not smart.
It depends on what level and who you're talking about. I think there's also very brilliant people who are orchestrating what we're seeing, but there's also a lot of dumbass ones, especially when you get down to more of the public level, you know?
Oh, yeah.
The actor doesn't have to be fucking intelligent. They just have to have a good memory and to be able to hit their lines when they get their cue. That's all. So you don't need intelligence, but you need.
I guess I'll be more specific when I say the ones all the way at the top. Like, for instance, do I believe that our leaders of different countries and nation states are controlled? Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, they're all controlled.
But do I believe, like, this is where I would disagree with some people. Do I believe that they're actually getting marching orders in a sense to do this or don't do that? No. What I believe is they've already calculated to a level. I know this person. If I put them in this situation, this is more than likely what they're going to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them there. Then I'm going to put these people around them who will nudge them in the direction that I want them to go. And then once they get to that direction, I'm going to put other people in power that's going to give them the options to lead them down the track. So they're doing what they're supposed to, but they don't really know.
Yeah.
They don't really know that, oh, wait a minute, I'm already doing what the powers that be above me want me to do.
It goes back to bring it back earlier. You talk about compartmentalization.
Mm-hmm.
You need to know. You're on a need to know basis.
Yep.
And you don't have. You also brought a good point. You just have to set up the environment, set up the situation, and put in some key players. You've already run the scenario, so you know how it's going to come out, and you know how to react when that whatever your goal you're looking for manifests itself in that environment. And just keep it going, baby. Just keep it going, keep it going. And the people that are perpetrating this might even think that they're doing good. In fact, no more harm has ever been done by somebody who thinks they're righteous.
Yes.
Right? And I believe that they have certain levels of degree of what's considered success. Like how they wanted to go into these seven nations.
Right.
They did want to go into them in 5 years. But I believe that they also had a contingency plan of, even if we can't get all of them within 5 years, then we will keep pushing and we'll find this other way. Okay, we failed on this, but here, let's try this other angle. And so if you look at it, they still accomplished the goal. Now, it took 20-something years instead of the 5 years.
Right.
But they still accomplished that goal. That's the reason why I don't believe it's somebody who's literally like, hey, do X, turn neck this way. I believe that it's people who are guiding, just like that's the reason why most of these presidents don't have any military experience and they mostly handle foreign policy. Like, for people who don't get it, who vote on what deportations and the economy and all that, the president, what they do more than anything is foreign policy. That's the number one thing that they do. Number one thing that they deal with. Domestic stuff is a far distant second. And when they're doing all this foreign policy, if you don't have any understanding of how the world works, any of these other cultures, the military, whatever, you're going to have to depend on those generals, those admirals to tell you what's what. And if these people have already been fed a narrative to go in a certain direction. All the information you're going to be basing off of is going to be faulty information. And so they already know from that faulty information which way you're probably going to go. So when they give you option A, B, and C strike packages, they really want option A, but they're fine with accepting B or C.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why, okay, do you get that 5 years or do we end up with 20 years?
Mm-hmm.
But we still get there is the point.
Yeah, I agree. I agree fully. I say so much of the time, this sounds crazy, that what we're seeing, I believe, are the final manifestations of plans that have been around hundreds, if not thousands of years for this sick utopian vision of this single global government where a few are in charge of everything. They keep enough of us around to serve their needs, and they eliminate the rest of us. And as crazy as it sounds, what do you mean thousands of years old? Okay, go read the writings of Manly P. Hall, The Secret Destiny of America, The Process of the Quest, I believe it's what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
And then start looking at other things that people have talked about, their goals of global government that have been written hundreds of years ago. H.G. Wells, all those people.
Well, you got to remember, technically they did accomplish it. They just reaccomplished it over and over and over because at a certain point, they didn't know about some of these other places. So, like under the Roman Empire, the Roman Empire did conquer everything that they knew of.
But the difference is you're talking about people that perceive the known world, right? I'm talking about the world. It's everything now because we have the technology to implement it. They didn't have that technology in the Roman days. They didn't even have it back in the days of Hitler, in World War II. But now the technology exists and they're rolling it out and they're not even lying about it anymore. So that's just kind of my view on where we are. And I wish I had a different view. I mean, I really hope in a few years I can look at myself and call myself crazy. Because what I see coming down the pipe for us normal people ain't pretty. Ain't pretty at all, y'all.
Well, I mean, there's a certain religious belief of certain people who believe that, you know what, our goal is we will have everybody up under our foot. And it's like we're getting closer and closer to that,
Yeah.
I mean, now granted, they kind of have tangential control. Like we're kind of like we're getting either we have these people in our pocket or we're getting these people to do it by force. But they want to get it to the point where you do it with a smile on your face, and I don't have to force you anymore.
Well, no slave is ever more enslaved than person that thinks that they're free. Look at the Jones plantation.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Damn, Dave.
I know every once in a while something philosophical comes out of this fucking big mouth, man.
Mm-hmm. No, that's facts right there.
It's facts.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can, it goes back to, this is kind of a side note, to Bernays and his book Propaganda that was written in the 1920s. When he said, if you market a product correctly, you do not have to sell it to their customer.
Facts.
The customer will come to you and demand that you sell your product to them.
Mm-hmm.
And they all think that's their thought and that they're free people and this is free thought, but it's not. It was implanted into the people. So let's all sign up for Orange Jesus. He's going to save us, y'all.
Oh my God, no, he's not.
If
Gavin will when he's done. So
if he survives through this, because I mean, have you guys been hearing about his health?
Oh, he might have CHF. Yeah, he has pulmonary edema. Let's get to some scientific shit. And this is my cup of tea. Mm-hmm. So my mom was supposed to be a doctor. So
okay.
A lot of shit, especially cardiology. So it seems like he might have a heart issue because he has pulmonary edema in his lower extremities, which means he is retaining fluid, which means that his heart is not pumping properly because his body is not able to pass the fluid through his kidneys and things of that nature through his body properly. So a number of things could possibly happen, mainly congestive heart failure. He's saying something about the veins in his hands, veins that happen to like start to swell up like that. It's because they're trying to work overtime. So it seems as if, my man's is going to be all fucked up in the game for a little bit. They kept saying that well, he came out with a statement, was like, oh no, I'm not sick or whatever. I just got some really potent veins or whatnot, whatever. But from the looks of it, with his ankles, yeah, my veins, with the look of his fucking cankles, that motherfucker need a diuretic. Okay, he need to be drinking some sweet tea and sitting his ass on a toilet with his legs up, past that fluid. That shit can lead to a lot of other things. Fluid on the chest, fluid on your lungs. You end up having that congestive heart failure, where it becomes hard for you to breathe. You can contract pneumonia, die, need a stent of some sort, might need some heart surgery, might need a new valve. You never know. There's a lot of things that can happen with the CHF little thing going on. So yeah, I've been peeping that. Because my mom had CHF complications.
Yeah, my mom had the same thing. Mm-hmm. And had a big problem with the swelling in her legs, and diuretics and stuff like that. Especially as she got older and kind of got towards the end of her journey, that was kind of an issue that I took care of quite a bit.
Yep.
Well, think about this: what a better volleyball set and spike than you bring in Orange Jesus, disenfranchise his base, get him out of the picture, and then you roll in an old desecration couch boy, J.D. Vance, who's a member of Bilderberg, and Peter Thiel, his golf club that he's a golf club for, is on the steering committee. But yet the MAGA people will still say that they're fighting to restore America, but the guys his right-hand man and his guy who paid for it are on the Bilderberg meeting. Yes. So honestly, tell me that he's for America, but they fucking still will, because most of them don't understand the significance of Bilderberg even. It's like, fuck, y'all.
Well, they don't even know who Peter Thiel is. So let's get the intro sections first. But I do have a joke about Orange Jesus. I have an Orange Jesus joke. Ha ha ha. Because Orange Jesus is walking on water. Get it? See it? Water.
That's fucked up. Fucked up.
That's fucked up. It's a fucked up joke, but that's a good one. Hey.
That's good. Good.
Well, I look at it this way: if you can't see the huckster and con artists. Well, I wouldn't even say con artists because it's not very good at conning. If you can't see Trump for who he is and a liar, and you're going to defend that, then you can't see any of this stuff coming.
No, or if you're the same way with your Biden fights or anybody that they present to us, if you honestly believe in it, I have a hard time listening to any criticisms people like that have, because even though I might agree with some of the criticism, it's coming from a bipartisan fact. And the thing that we've talked about this earlier, they will condemn the other person and cover up the very sins that are committed by their guys. Mm-hmm. And it goes back and forth, back and forth. And these people don't even understand that they're in the game. They're pawns in the chess game. But they'll still keep believing.
Yep.
So when I first got into the conspiracy gang, like when I first met Steve, I had just ripped the seal off my conspiracy theory manila envelope.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. The first seal.
And since then, thanks to Steve, you, Dave, Marcus, Mariah, crazy ass. Okay. Yeah. A lot of different people, Sam, Tripoli, all the people that I need to meet at these different carnivals and stuff, all having like minds, and Charles and shit like that, having experiences, and then opening up to me and letting me know other things. It sucks when you try to have conversations, especially political conversations, with people about the parties or the uniparty or whatever, wherever your stance is, and theirs stops right here at Trump,
right there,
or it stops right here at Biden, or it stops right here at Obama, and I'm like, well, what about the guy behind that motherfucker? The one funding it. What about that motherfucker over there? You know what I'm saying? Because I get to asking, I can't even think of his name right now because I haven't asked about this man in so long. But remember when Trump ran the first time? Frost,
vaguely.
Thank you. It's like a fever dream. Frost, y'all know who I'm talking about? The old white dude with the trench coat, looked like a Bond villain, was always in the background of Trump's pictures the first go around. He was low-key Trump's PR nigga. Do y'all know who I'm talking about? What is his name?
I don't remember.
White dude.
Obama?
No. Trump. Trump's first term, he had this dude. I swear his name was Frost. Come on, type them fingers, because I'm not Googling it, because I'm standing
So-
on business. This is a Mandela effect ass shit.
Let's see. See if I find anything.
Trump and Frost, or some shit like that.
Well, I see. I keep finding only Maxwell Frost.
No, does anybody in the chat remember that old white dude that was always talking and he was always in Trump's ear? He low-key the reason that Russia's in the picture in the first fucking place.
Are you talking about
Come on,
Bannon or Stone?
Stone.
Oh,
That's it.
Stone.
Stone. Fucking
Right, Roger Stone.
Thank you. See, I'm thinking fucking Bond villains. But anyway, so Stone, right?
Right.
People won't even know Stone exists. People won't know about how he was in cahoots with Russia in the first place, which got us all in this Russia shit in the first place. Which then I go back and be like, well, the fact that we back in Ukraine after Trump was so in cahoots with Russia, does that even make sense? Because they'll say Russia, 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 all these votes, votes, votes. And then next thing you know, you turn around and now we helping Ukraine, but y'all was on the Russia's team because y'all was voting with MAGA. And I have had conversations with people like that, Dave.
Mm-hmm. And what's the reaction? You get the four right there?
Bro, they get the buffering, bro.
Oh.
They get the buffering like a YouTube video. I swear to fucking God.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, so how does that connect? Because I'll pull out now my conspiracy theory whiteboard with all my tags and stuff with my red lines connected to everybody. And I'm like, so which one of these strings is on your board?
They don't even have a board, brother.
They don't have.
No, I'm sorry. You don't have a board.
Thank you. And they don't even have a fucking board.
Well, see, for me, this is all you need to understand is that if you're talking about Trump in particular, because I can go down a breakdown of the different people. Trump is transactional. Whoever he thinks is going to help him, it's all purely transactional. He will do a deal with the devil himself. He does not give a damn. And so, but Biden, what it is Biden is actually ideological. Biden does believe in the us versus the Russians. And a lot of the people of his time period and age, they do believe that Russia is so existential that they need to fund, Ukraine or whoever to take down Russia. The same thing with the whole Israel thing. Biden is ideological. Biden is like, he really believes in the state of Israel and Zionism, whereas Trump, it's transactional. And I believe as you get through the people, you can tell certain people are doing certain things. Obama, I feel Obama is somebody who is just looking to navigate. I'm going to do whatever deals I can with this person or that person to kind of keep me afloat wherever I need to. And let's just keep the system moving. That's what Obama was. Keep the system moving. I'm not going to do anything. So it wasn't that he had any kind of ideological belief to it, and he wasn't transactional as far as in the office. It was more, I'm happy to be in this position. I'm happy to get all the perks for it. And then after that, then I'll profit off of it like all the rest of the presidents did. And so that's what Obama was about, just keeping a steady hand on it and keeping things going without anybody paying too much attention to what the hell's actually happening. How can we get the ship moving with as little fuss without people, really paying too much attention to what the hell we're really doing? Whereas Bush before him, Bush was a little bit more ideological. He had some ideological beliefs, but also I believe that Bush believed what he was trying to do. Now, I believe he realized that he kind of fucked up. He started trying to fix it. But that's what I'm saying. Each of these people, they're all doing this stuff, and they all have either an ideological belief to what they're doing or a transactional belief. And you can track it through each president, what they're actually doing and why they're doing it.
Well, regardless of whether they have a transactional belief or an ideological belief, when their handlers say snap to it and get out there on stage, you got to read your lines. They're going to get out there, snap to it, and get out on stage and read their lines. Just like they're supposed to, just like they're told to do. And there's no other way around that I could see. I think they're different people. They have different methods. Yeah. But ultimately, it's all a Don King boxing match or Vince McMahon WD wrestling match.
Right.
You know, get your ass out on there on stage, do your fucking song and dance. I don't give a fuck if you don't want to. And when you're done, I'll give you your next assignment when you get back.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I see it.
No, it is that way. It's what do we need to do to motivate this fucking moron to do his job?
Regardless, make him think that he is in charge. All right. make the slave think he's free.
That's what I think it is with Trump. Make him think that he's actually doing this. Fluff his ego a little bit.
Right.
And do everything we need.
And also remind him that him and Jeffrey were very good friends for 15 years. And if he doesn't believe that, you can always show him that little video on your secured government issued phone. Yeah. So what do you say, chump? You're going to go for it? Oh, yeah. I'll call Epstein a hoax. All right. Good boy.
I tell anybody, if you want to see who's really running the day-to-day operations of any of the presidencies, all you got to look is their chief of staff.
Precisely, because they control their access.
That's the person who everything is actually being funneled through. That's the person who's making the decisions. The president is just a figurehead who does some speeches and signs papers. Yeah. These other people are the ones who actually know what the hell is going on.
Right. Well, there's an old saying, if you want to control the world, you don't have to control the world yourself. You just have to control the people who control the world.
Who control the world. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
It goes back to a famous quote, and I'm paraphrasing. It says, I care not for which puppet sits on the British throne. I only who controls the monetary supply, and I control the monetary supply. That's
OG Rothschild, buddy.
Exactly. And so in this situation, they don't really care about who's sitting on the throne. And there's a reason why. The certain power players, they learn that, oh, wait a minute, when you're the king and things go bad, people come after the king.
Right.
Why would I just not be the king and I'll sit back? That's the reason why you see most of our politicians come from the lesser houses of royal families.
Yeah,
they come from families, the royal families who were in the court, but were not the kings and queens. That's the reason why the kings and queens, a lot of times, they ended up getting, overthrown and off with their head and stuff like that. And then the other lesser houses, they retreated away, took their wealth, started up a new place, and kept it moving. And then once the dynasties went away,
right,
then they popped up as, oh, we're this new corporation who runs this or new plantation or whatever. It's the same game. They just folded up shop and moved it somewhere else. And America has basically become the new Roman Empire in that way. It went from the Roman Empire to all these royal states through all these different European countries to the new corporations. And so it's corporatized, or else it's through the monetary system.
Yeah, it's existed throughout all of time. Those powers, groups, families, if you will, have existed since humanity has existed. And they've floated through humanity, and they've changed their family names. They've gone underground, but they've all re-emerged over time. And even when they're still underground, they still hold the power.
Yeah.
It's just they got their minions out there running.
They hold more power underground.
Yeah, well, that's right now. The people that are truly in global power control now took a lot of expense and a lot of money to remain completely anonymous. That's why when you see somebody in the public sphere who they portray as Elon, the richest man in the world, or the most powerful man in the world, if they're a public figure in the pyramid of global control, they're just administrators. No matter how high you think they are, they're mid-level management. They don't have the key to the executive bathroom, y'all.
Yep. Like I used to tell people all the time. So you think that there are families in the UAE and Qatar who are trillionaire families, but yeah, they're getting dictated to by the Western world. So you don't think that there's no trillionaires who are sitting over there who have more power and more wealth than them?
Yep.
Come on, explain. That doesn't make any sense. I'm not gonna be the guy who's the 9-to-5 guy, but somehow I have more power and sway than the CEO. That doesn't make any sense.
All right. Well, think about it like this. I'm a big drug kingpin, right? I'm moving major weight. I'm not talking a key here. I'm talking about a ton here, a ton there.
Tons.
Right. To the general public, I'm going to be a philanthropist. I'm going to be a successful businessman. And I'm going to be either kind of on the side, or if I'm in the public arena, I'm going to be portrayed as a staunch, good person, just like the mafia dons. I'm a businessman. I'm not a mafia leader. I'm not going to go to the public and go, yeah, here's the real deal. I move about 3 tons a day, right? And I have about 8 people capped a day. All right. So don't fuck with me, or I'll fuck your mother and I'll make you watch, and then I'll slit your throat when I'm done with her. Now, I'm not going to tell them that. I'm going to say, I'm a philanthropist. I'm here to make the world a better place. And I'm a successful importing businessman. So you think that these people that are in power are going to say, yeah, I'm really in power? Oh, hell no. They're going to stay as far away from that spotlight as they can.
Right.
Like you said, the lower houses, let the lower houses take the fucking fall, baby doll. Let them take the fall, not me, because I'm king.
It's funny. Didn't you just talk about Mariah?
But
you just mentioned her name.
What's happening, baby? Hello.
To you. Hopefully all is well. We gotta have her on here one of these times.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I don't think I've been on. I think I've kind of followed her work from afar and never really haven't been on the stream together. So yes, Till was literally just talking about. She summoned you. I told you.
I did. I summoned Mariah.
Voodoo priestess over here.
Yeah, I told you. I be talking my shit. And watch, give me 3 more months. Y'all gonna be like, damn, T was right. It is China with the weather machines coming over here fucking us up. Nobody listens to me till it's too late. I told y'all we was gonna have some major death and some shit was blowing up. Y'all told me to predict the year. I ain't missed yet. Go back on the episode in January.
So you're in good company.
As long as y'all living in a place that's slated for a 15-minute city or high value real estate, y'all good with the weather weapons, y'all.
Yeah.
You motherfuckers that live along them beautiful rivers. Well, watch out. China's on your ass. China's on your ass.
Well, I mean, think like this. China be playing chess, not checkers. They be like 25 steps ahead of everybody. So like they could be thinking, this is how I know I'm a weirdo, okay? Because they'll think of some shit like this. We're going to create weather machines, and then we're going to create hurricanes and tornadoes, right? And then after a while, these people ain't going to be able to have no houses because all the houses going to get flooded out, and then they're going to have bad contractors because we're going to be the contractors, and we're going to contract and work on their houses, and then the houses are going to have black mold. So we're going to kill these people from the inside out. And then we're going to be the ones that have the insurance companies, and when their house get blown up by a tornado, we ain't going to let them get their house back. And
the government, our student of the government will pay us to rebuild our, low-income, high-density housing projects. And then we'll just move in the plebes. And when we're building, we'll have a shitload of toxic material. Make sure that shit leaks. We got that black mold. And then we'll wipe out the fucking plebes. And then when they're done, we'll move more into it. Fuck it. That's a full meal deal, full circle plan there.
No, I think what they're going to do, instead of the slow, drawn-out process, eventually they're just going to go on ahead with the full-fledged wars. And then that's a good way to get those numbers down.
Yeah, and I lived right in between, literally, for miles of 2 decommissioned Air Force bases.
And that's the thing. That's something else I just want to throw out, Marcus. Because think, nigga, that is war. That is a form of war. Mm-hmm. That's silent.
But I'm talking about hot war.
I know, but I don't think they even need that because the way that shit is so stacked up. That's quiet war. We don't need to be loud and belligerent, getting pulling out AKs and shit. That's barbaric. That's peasant shit. We doing it sneaky. We gonna wipe them all out as a whole, section by section, and they're gonna think that it's just a happenstance. It's just a Flint, Michigan water situation. One of those things.
Well, the thing that I think though is the elites, this iteration of the elites now, or so-called, the ones who are at power, they're not their former generations of let's slow down and wait. They're not in the slow down and waiting game anymore. They're not in the let's seek this plan out over the next 100 years. They're not doing that anymore. They're ready to speed this thing on up. That's what I think. And so in order to speed this thing on up, you got to go. You can't let somebody get mold over the next 10 years and you ain't got time for all that. You trying to speed this thing on up.
Let's make up a disease, get them all panicked, and then we'll just shoot them up with a bunch of genetically modifying products, and give them 5 years. They'll drop it. If that doesn't work, fuck it. We'll make it a hot war. Lob over some bombs and some nukes. Wipe out a bunch of people. We're good. Georgia Guidestones, baby. We got 500 million people that we got to bring it down to. Step it up. Tip.
So in order for you to get that to that level, we're at over 8 billion people. So
right.
Things have to start getting, whole areas decimated in days. The thing. And you don't do that on a 5-year, 10-year plan. You do it on a war that gets, think about it. World War II, how many people died in World War II over was it like a 6-7 year period?
45 million or something like that?
Exactly.
Crazy.
Need hot war to start clicking them numbers down a lot faster.
And you start lobbing some of those exotic weapons with some nukes over there, you can wipe out, you could hit that 500 million in a day. In fact, you hit that fucker in an hour. You do it right.
And that's what I'm saying. And this is where I go into, you got to understand what these people believe. And when you start thinking about the people who are really running these things, what they actually believe, where they're going, their other dominoes are starting to fall in place, which they want. So they're ready for end game. Now it's time to start accelerating everything.
No. Well, we're seeing the final manifestation of plans that have been around for hundreds, if not thousands of years. And I think that I've seen a lot of indication where they are stepping up their timeline.
Mm-hmm.
And they think that this is actually going to, there are ideological people that think this is going to work. The reality is it's not. It's going to throw the world into hell like we've never even seen it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the potential of it.
Well, so, you got to remember, you got a whole bunch of people who are literally doomsday, waiting for doomsday anyway.
Oh yeah, dude. We're on YouTube, so I didn't realize that. I don't want to get you canceled there.
I think you were safe with what you said.
Yeah, I would have been got us canceled like 3, 4, 8 episodes ago.
Yeah, no shit. But there are religious zealots on multiple different types of religions, Islam, Judaism, Christianity, who are wanting to usher in the destruction of the world so that whatever Messiah can come up will come up. When you start looking
and those numbers, before you hop off of that,
what?
How much of the population believe in those faiths?
I think a lot of them do. There's a lot of,
I would say possibly half the world believes in those faiths. Anywhere from a third to half.
And one of the most historically powerful social tools any power source has is religion. Mm-hmm. It's stronger than countries. I mean, the original world government, if you will, was the Roman Catholic Church back in the monarch days, right? The French, they're killing the English, Dutch. Well, they're waiting to go in there, right? And the only thing that supersedes their authority is that of the Holy Roman Pope. Mm-hmm. And when you start going into the background of that sect of society and religion, shit gets pretty dark. Bless you. God bless you. Shit gets pretty dark. So, to have what was popping on my mind earlier is this serious talk about Israel erecting the third temple and the red heifer.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying.
And this is not, hey, these are just some crazy, whacked out podcasters, saying this stuff. No, these are serious people in this country with serious authority that are talking about this. Like, they've already got the third temple prefabbed and built.
And they fucking genetically modified this fucking cow.
Yeah, they're pumping out these red heifers and shit. They're just waiting for the day. And when that
happens, fucking idols, bro.
Right. And all you got to do is follow the prophecies of the various religions. What happens when that happens? All hell breaks loose.
Come on, dog. And this shit be pissing me off. And that's where and not to put it back on that, but that goes back to when I be talking to people and it be like conspiracy theory 101 and they be like Trump. Nigga, where's the red? Did y'all know they genetically modified a red heifer out of Texas?
Yep.
You know the apple juices made a heifer out in Texas and it took it over the way with the other apple juices, and now they out there making fake apple juice cows.
Right. Yeah.
Now I guess that's where it separates me, because I'm one of the few people who are in the so-called conspiracy lane where I don't just believe this is just a conspiracy. I do believe in biblical prophecy. So that is what's coming. I just believe we've always figured that it was going to be kind of hands off. We didn't assume that it was going to be people who were manifesting it to happen. And I think that's what probably is throwing some people off. That because they see people that are working to manifest biblical prophecy to happen, it somehow invalidates biblical prophecy.
Right. I've often said this, I've heard, well, biblical prophecy is nothing. It's just a plant that they're using right now. My retort to that is regardless whether this is true prophecy or whether this is a blueprint that they've been using, the prophecy came true just as it said. Just as it said. So whatever way you look at it, whoever was talking about these ideas thousands of years ago knew exactly what they were talking about because we are seeing the true manifestations of it today. World government, CBC, CBDC, the mark of the beast, the beast system, the Antichrist, the world religion. All this is, all you got to do is go out there and look at the news, and it's everywhere. Yep. And it's not just the National Enquirer that's putting this out. You're talking about the red heifer stuff, Jerusalem Post Haaretz type level of propaganda outlets are talking about this shit. Not just us crazy people on these podcasts.
I knew when I was sitting there, and I was talking to a Christian, I was talking to a Muslim, I was talking to a Hindu, I was talking to a Sheikh, and all of us with different belief systems. We're all coming to the same conclusion, like, hey, there's something there. And these people, half of these people do not believe in the same prophecy I do, but are all seeing the same thing.
Sure, true. But, it's like, this just popped in my mind, dispensationalism, Darby and Scofield, the Scofield Bible. Yeah. I think that really neutered the Christian faith, especially in America.
That was the goal.
That was the goal, because now you have all these Christians who believe in this prophecy, right? And instead of going out and actually being the Lord's soldiers when they need to be the Lord's soldiers, they're just kicking back, going, give me a little bit of that sip of that red wine. Yeah, I don't got to worry about this, brother. The old Jesus.
They believe in pre-trib.
Yeah, we don't got to do shit, man. We just got to watch.
Because they're pre-trib. That's why. And for people who don't know what I mean when I say pre-trib, they believe in pre-tribulation. So when all of this stuff hits the fan, God is going to come and just vacuum them all up into the clouds, and they're not going to have to experience any of the horrible stuff that's coming.
And if we can make it happen faster, that just means the eternal vacuum cleaner is going to come quicker. So step it up, get that red heifer up there. Come on, we got to support that Zionism. We got to get this shit going because, man, I want to get that eternal blowjob. I want to get sucked up into heaven. And it is a false prophecy, which was started by Darby, who his family didn't even come to the cocksucker's funeral. He was that much of a douchebag. Picked up by Scofield, funded by the Rockefellers and the Oxford Press.
I know.
All the seminaries in the United States, and now
all practice the same bullshit.
And at the same time, they're being deceived. It goes back to in the Bible when it talks about the end times. Even the elect.
Very elect will be deceived.
And that's what's happening, is my belief, one man's belief, that happened with the Christian religion and the advent of this dispensationalism. Because, man, guess what? If it was real, that belief would have been in existence throughout all of the Christianity. It would have just popped up out of nowhere in the late 1800s, y'all. And two, if you're looking at legitimacy, you think Satan's actually bankrolling God's project? Hell no. He might be an evil fucker, but he ain't dumb. He ain't dumb.
And you look at all the funding. Why did it all of a sudden get geared everything towards, that little tiny country over there? Everything got geared that way. All the churches got geared that way.
Right.
Sending the money that way. And like it goes into the fact that they know that most people are never going to actually read. And they know that most people are not going to say, what does this actually mean when you look into the Greek or the Aramaic or any of those things? Let's just go with whatever our preacher tells us and keep putting that money in the plate, and we're going to be good to go.
And here's the reality check I like to throw out there. Y'all remember who killed our good Lord Jesus Christ, y'all, didn't it? Or
Come
no,
on
let me put it
now.
like this. They put out the contract. The Romans did the hit, but we all know who put out that fucking contract. Mm-hmm.
But let's say in a court of law, if you paid me to do something, you paid me to take somebody off the board. In a court of law, who's guilty?
Both
Me, you, or
You're a
both?
principal.
Exactly.
You're a principal. Y'all have you hold the same as the person that pulled the trigger. You're a principal.
You're a principal. Just like
That's
if you're
what
driving
you
a
call
car.
conspiracy,
Say what?
and that's what you call conspiracy, which is a charge.
Mm-hmm. And people get charged with it every day, left and right.
Yeah.
But because of the CIA making that term conspiracy theorist in the 60s, for anybody that questioned the Warren Commission, 9/11 bullshit report type thing, now the word conspiracy automatically negates anything that a person says because you're a conspiracy theorist. The whole time the person saying it doesn't have the cognitive ability to look at the word conspiracy, look at the laws, look at the courts, and look at what's happening today. Conspiracy of murder, conspiracy of robbery. It's happening all the time. But
all it means is multiple people got together and put their heads together to do one thing.
right, commit a crime.
That's all a conspiracy is. I mean, if we all decided, hey, I think we should all go to Chipotle at the same time, that's a conspiracy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and go jack them up and fucking rob them of their burritos, which
or even just go there to buy it. I mean, conspiracy is just coming together with a idea, and a bunch of people get together to do this idea.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to even be anything nefarious.
Yeah, it's just an agreement.
Mm-hmm.
But we're all crazy.
We're all going to go do X at this time, and we were all confederate in the idea together.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what happens when people don't really break apart, conversation and words and definitions and meanings.
And understand things like nuance.
Yeah. Like I used the word the other day. I said something at work and I was like, this person, something election. And they were like, election, like president. No, I'm like, no, an election is just basically a choice between things. Right. Election is not only having to do with politics.
Politics are a type of election.
Mm-hmm.
And Viagra gives you good erections. So.
Oh, man. Yeah, but I guess we're getting close to the end of the show. I think we're going ahead and wrap here soon. Right. But in closing, this whole Epstein stuff and this whole Trump stuff, I think we all kind of agree that this is going to come down to Trump basically being a lame duck for the rest of this time period, and Israel being the hill he decided to die on, and protecting Israel in a sense. Whereas now it's so ironic that Mr. America First has been the most Israel first president ever. All that said, because here's what I think. Steve said earlier that Gavin Newsom will probably be the forerunner up, and he'll probably take over the technocracy. That's very possible, because the one reason why I don't see it going anything with the rights, because I think once many of these things go into effect, it's going to be so negative that I think it's going to depress the vote on the right. Yeah. And I think that enough people who are just going to be pissed off of what's going on are automatically going to vote blue no matter who. That's literally what they're going to do. And I think that it's just going to be okay, well, we tried this side, it was bad, now let's go back to the other side that was bad. So I just left my girlfriend who was cheating on me. Let me go back to my other girlfriend that was cheating on me. That's kind of what where I think most of the American public is. And I also think with the right, I think Trump may have did some lasting damage, because I don't think that they have, I don't see anybody with the charisma to carry things. Like Trump was able to sit there and basically lie to people's face, clearly lie and been a liar most of his life.
He's good at it.
Get people to just still be like, but I'm riding with this liar. This is my liar. And I don't see anybody else who has that charisma on the right to be able to pull the MAGA loyalists, the rhinos, pulling in, some of the libertarians and pulling in some independents.
Well, I see the ticket I see coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Gavin for president and Big Mike for VP.
That
would be an unstoppable force. You have Gavin, who is he has a lot of charisma, massive amounts of charisma. He's good looking. He's got that sexy voice, and he knows how to lie and make you feel good. He's good at the camera. And then you want to bring in, the true diehards. Then you bring in Big Mike, the first female black vice president. Oh my God. And then you want to take it one step further. Let old Gavin Newsom sit there for about a year or two and knock him off. And then you got Big Mike being the first black female president. God bless America. Racism is dead.
Unless they flip it and go the other way.
Oh, and they make it a racist thing. And look at that black bitch sitting in the office. How the fuck can she ever do that? That's what you're talking about? That kind of.
Well, yeah, true. I still don't. Yeah, but that's how I felt though with Obama. I felt there is no way. I don't care how bought off this dude. There is no way they're about to let this black dude win. So I feel like I don't know how to judge America on what they'll do as far as that, and because you do remember we still got a certain amount of sexism in this country where they not feeling seeing a woman running shit. So I don't know if maybe some other countries is ready for that. I don't know about America. And I mean, I know some of the different communities, especially a black woman. You go into you go into some of these communities, and they're, for one, they don't want their woman even speaking up too much in the household, let alone having a woman being in charge, and let alone being a black woman in charge. So that's the only reason. Well,
I don't know if Big Mike would be thrown out there for the black vote. It's all the guilty white liberal bitches.
Well, they'll get them in spades, but
so many of them, brother. I have a very good friend. She's like a sister to me. She worships the ground Obama walks on. And for the story, she's white. She's a cracker ass, right? And
she got a space syndrome.
But see, I'm talking about the independents, because I don't think that's going to work with independents.
Well, elections are rigged anyways. They present the show. They already know the end results. The Don King boxing match. You know who's going to win, buddy. But you got to put on a good fucking show for the plebes to think that they're in charge.
Yeah.
And for the Democratic Party, old Gavin Newsom and Big Mike, that's a hell of a ticket, man. I would pay money to fucking buy that ticket. Shit.
Because the only other ones that I see that they could possibly throw up, which that's possible also, is AOC or
I thought AOC.
That's the only one. That's the only one I could. Because honestly, I think that Newsom has a lot of even people who are Democrats who are probably pissed at him. I think he has a lot of people. I think honestly, anybody who they try to put up from California is kind of like DOA. I think California is. Yeah, I don't see too many people willing to trust any leader from California to run anything, not on a national level.
Oh, I just thought about this. How about the first AI president? Make him gorgeous. Get the VP AI president. Make them both fucking like out of central casting. Give him that slick ability to read a speech like Obama. Make him look.
His voice. Ooh.
Oh yeah, baby doll.
Whichever celebrity gets out there and will promise, whichever celebrity will get out there and promise on the most minimal thing, I think that's the person they could use. But that's the difference. They have to promise something, because they got by with Obama like vaguely suggesting he will do this or do that, and then got in and was like, "Hey, I didn't promise you guys anything," and then people were like, "Fuck." He didn't promise us anything. God damn. He tricked us.
Typical white man going to the brother saying he's one of them, and then come to find out, he's not. Fucking white people. God damn it.
And then Biden promised some things and didn't do any of it. So whoever it is, they're gonna have to actually promise something concrete to people.
They will.
Now, give them that one thing while screwing them on another 100 things.
Right.
You have to promise one thing that they're going to have to deliver.
Right. And it's usually on a social issue. You know, find some social issues. Do the abortion thing. Oh, fuck
Bro,
it.
give me
Racism. Say what?
Give me the healthcare, bro. Just give me the healthcare.
Yeah, that's what I think it'll be. I think it'll be the healthcare because I don't think the abortion thing is gonna work. Because a lot of those people who had abortion stuff, what they're doing is they're just flying to another state and then having the abortions somewhere else.
The ones that can afford it.
Yeah.
You think a hood rat's gonna fucking fly to the United States or a fucking
trailer? A hood rat ain't gonna vote either.
Maybe.
A lot of them ain't gonna vote anyway. Just reminds me of the opening scenes of Idiocracy with Cletus. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do.
And then the yuppie couple, then the family tree. Oh Lord, when Cletus that
Cletus is gonna sit there and complain and bitch and moan about all this stuff, but don't even attempt to do anything to change any of it.
Oh hell no. Hell no, he's just gonna take his free government cheese and play armchair warrior and shit, man. We got a new war coming on, honey. Better call Domino's. They got a 2-for-1 deal and get me one of them Schlitz Budweisers out here.
Okay.
Watch me some fucking Arab get blown up.
$2 personal pants, bro.
That's what's like cracked me up on TikTok because I've seen a bunch of people on there, and especially the Republican TikTok, how in their mind nobody who's a Trump supporter is on government benefits.
That's a fucking lie.
A fucking lie.
And I'm like, wow,
have you.
Y'all are really saying this shit with a straight face, like for real. Like I can literally ride you around. That I've seen myself because when I used to do delivery, I used to work for Lowe's and do delivery. I delivered to plenty of trailer parks with nothing but Trump flags up.
Right.
Knowing for a fact that these people were on benefits, knowing 1,000%.
Yeah, this ain't a 55 and over with a bunch of nice double wides.
No.
This is the trailer park, y'all.
These kids ain't got no shoes on their feet.
This is trailer park, missing teeth and all that shit. And I'm putting a brand new refrigerator in a trailer that's fucking falling apart.
Yeah.
Okay.
With roaches all over the fucking place.
Yeah.
So this whole mentality that, oh, it's just the liberals. No. Don't play this fucking game. I've been over too much of this country to buy into that bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know anymore, man.
It's uniparty for the good and the bad, y'all. I promise.
Believe this shit, and it's just it frustrates me that I see this bullshit so clearly, but very few people do, and they keep buying it, and I just shake my head. I'm like, really, you guys buy this bullshit again?
Yeah.
How many times these fuckers lied to you, and now now they're not going to lie to you anymore, and now you're going to believe them again.
Well, we got to remember the people we're dealing with. Like, I've literally listened to a Trump supporter talk about all the government benefits that he was on, how he's not working, how he has a problem with all the people who are getting government benefits who are not working.
Exactly.
And we need to cut these benefits because all these people are out here taking advantage of it. While you are talking about your goddamn self.
Yeah, and they don't even have the intelligence or cognitive awareness to know that they're doing.
They don't even have the awareness, exactly.
They don't.
Out there selling drugs and complaining about drug dealers out there. It's like, oh my God. Yeah, so because he might be selling crack or coke and you're selling meth, that makes you different or better.
Not as bad because I'm not a crackhead. I told you.
Yeah, I'm not a crackhead, and I'm not a junkie.
Selling meth.
Right. And I could sit up for 48 hours and bend glass pipettes and think I'm doing something. Snap. Oh, I snapped another one. Oh, I snapped another one. Oh, yeah. Hey. Well, don't get me started on the meth. I had a life 30-something years ago, that shit. And the stuff I fucking did then. Fuck, here's a crazy thing. And I'll end it with this. I want to bust myself out. I don't touch that shit. I haven't done since late 90s. But I was living in this old farmhouse, right? With this old shop, 3-car, 2 garage bays, and another shop. I got so geeked out of my mind one night. I went in there with a pad, ruler, and a pencil, and I made a exact blueprint of that entire old garage, down to the measurements between every uneven fucking rafter. It's in there for 12 fucking hours, thinking I achieved the greatest thing in the world. Then I woke up, probably about a couple of days later, and looked at that, and I'm like, the fuck? That's meth, y'all.
He said, "What the fuck?"
I did. What the fuck? Oh,
well, like, and I guess
Did it
my
look
little
good?
story, like, I remember
very nicely laid out, by the way. Very detailed.
people used to tell me all the time to watch that one show. I can't remember what it's called.
Breaking Bad.
Breaking
Reno
Bad.
911.
I
Oh, Breaking
couldn't. I refused to watch it for a long time. I still haven't seen it. I will eventually. But I'm like, I grew up in a city that was plagued heavily, bad with meth, really, really bad. KC was had a really bad meth problem back in like the 90s, and the reason why that meth problem was so bad, because this gets into more like some of the MAGA duplicitous thinking. They couldn't find it and they couldn't stop it because the police kept going through the same neighborhoods over and over and over. They kept going through all the ghettos and the hoods and predominantly Black and Hispanic neighborhoods. They couldn't find it. And they eventually, the fire department started telling them, hey, I got a fire over here in the suburbs.
Right.
What they were doing is they buy these houses out in the suburbs. And then in the basement, the whole thing is a cook shop.
Yeah.
So after enough houses kept burning down in the suburbs, they finally figured, oh shit, that's where it's actually at. And so you have so many people that look in one direction for the crime and don't realize part of the problem why some of these statistics are so far off is because even the police are looking in the wrong directions and turn a blind eye to actual real crime and all that stuff on the other side of the state. I mean, other side of the city. So it was just mind-boggling. It took for years and years and years of the fire department keep showing up to these suburban homes and you know, $300,000 homes, which would be like $1 million plus home out here.
Yeah.
Which is catching on fire from meth. And it's like, oh crap. So they would go from the hood, then they go out to the barrios, then they go to the trailer parks, and they're not finding it. They're finding people using, but they're not finding where this stuff is being cooked up. And it was all happening in the suburbs, the one area that they would refuse to look at.
Yeah, I used to live in this town called Lodi, California. And it is the one that Creedence wrote the song about. I always have to say, I feel like, is that the same one? Yeah, it is the same fucking one. Nice little town. And I was talking to a vice sheriff detective one time. He's my buddy. He's a guitarist. And he's like, oh, you know about all the cartel safe houses they got out there in Lodi, don't you? And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah. This is what they do. They go out in the country and they buy these nice houses with some land. Okay. And that's their stash houses. And they keep them maintained really well, keep the traffic down and light, and they blend in and nobody knows that they're living next to a stash house. They just think that they're living in those high scale houses out in the middle of the farm fields in the rural areas. And I said, why Lodi? It's the perfect transportation hub, Dave. It's right there between I-5 north and south. You've got the I-80 connection up there in Sacramento. You got Highway 12 straight up into the mountains. It is the perfect distribution. And I'm thinking, okay. And I don't doubt what he says. And in fact, it makes complete sense. But it just goes back to what you were talking about. If you're looking for, well, where's all of these cartels? Let's go over the east side of Lodi and raid all the Mexicans' houses and the gangbangers. That shit ain't there, motherfucker. You need to go out to the rich folk house, and that's where the real shit is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like there was somebody in the chat was talking about like meth and all that. Meth is not even really a big thing anymore. Like, especially like in KC, how it used to be, meth is not the thing anymore.
It's fentanyl now.
Fentanyl is the thing now, and most of that is coming through the mail from China. So that's a whole other ball game.
Oh yeah, man. Just speaking of fentanyl, man, I was in Santa Cruz one time, and it's for those of you not familiar with Santa Cruz, California. It's this nice little beach town, kind of not far from San Francisco, and they have this train, this tourist train that goes from the boardwalk all the way up Highway 9 into this rainforest and kind of stops at this railroad park. Well, as we're leaving town, it stops, and I'm in an open seated car, right? And on one side is the street, and on the other side is the street. And I looked down one side, and it was nothing but tents and leaning junkies. And I looked down the other street, and it was the same fucking thing. And I just looked at my friend. It's like, hey, Gilbert. He's like, yeah. I says, got Finney? He just started laughing. And then my friend, who I told you worships Obama, was sitting in between us, and she got all triggered and offended. Oh, my God, how dare you say this? I'm like, it's funny, and it's true. Look, leaning junkies and tents right here. And this is like the tourist train where people from all over the world come. They want to take this fucking train, and you're going to stop them right here and show it what Santa Cruz is really like. Mm-hmm. Junkie to the left of me, junkie to the right.
Yep.
Facts, man.
All the shit now is all synthetic, and it's all being shipped in from various places, whether it's the tranquilizers or the fentanyl or whatever it is. Because the tranquilizers is the big thing now. Like the trank is the big thing. Like that's what everybody's on. There's no the crack, the meth. Like no, they're done with that. That's where you see those people who are like standing there leaning in all these weird fucking areas.
Right, and their skin's falling apart because of infections it gives you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hey man, it's a great junkie tax. I'm here to tell you. Rip off the rich folk, get your money, get your rig, take your money, and pay your junkie tax, y'all.
Mm-hmm. Well, on that note, that's an interesting, crazy way to start ending up the show. But I guess I'll say something that'll throw it off. You know, I don't know. Let's just say you think Fent is bad. What will the next drug be?
Crocodile. I hope they bring Crocodile back. That Russian crack they had over there. That made
it's starting to hit over here from what I heard.
Yeah?
Yeah, that eat your skin away type shit.
Yeah, that Crocodile. Bring that shit back.
I think like Oxford says here, it's going to be some combination. It's going to be a combination of fentanyl, trank, and LSD.
I think
don't mess with the acid. Leave acid alone. That's fine.
No, they're going. I'm gonna tell you why they're gonna go for the acid, because they feel like, oh, y'all think y'all safe over here. We're gonna hook up we're gonna get y'all over here on the acid too.
I know, because it's fine. Leave it where it's at. Don't be fucking nobody up. Leave us alone.
They've already started messing with the weed, so hey.
You know they have me. You know that I'm about to quit, bro. Y'all, I'm about to quit.
Marcus, I'll leave it at this. Save America. Bring back coke and heroin. Save America.
You said, what was the drug in RoboCop? Nukem? Oh, Nuke. Honestly, no, not RoboCop. I know what you're thinking of. You're thinking of was it Judge Dredd?
Judge Dredd, yeah.
That's what I'm thinking of. That
yeah.
I just think that they got to put us on. They got to put people on something for those of us who are paying attention to what's going on. They got to find ways to kind of slow us down a little bit, or even if we're catching on to it, to keep us kind of docile so nobody decides to do anything too crazy. Because
Soma, get the Soma going.
Because the middle management, the people who are on the presidential level or CEOs, they can still be touched. And so the people who are really running the show, you don't even know who they are, so you can't touch them. But the ones that middle managements, the Elon Musk and people like that, it might be a little harder to touch somebody like Elon Musk, but you get what I'm saying. Some of these other people, like what happened to that healthcare CEO, some of these people can be touched. And so we got to make sure to keep us docile enough so that we don't get pissed off about things. Get pissed off about how we're getting ripped off and start reacting. And when it's a handful of them and it's over 350 million of us, I'm just saying, you got to find a way to keep them from looking your direction as much as possible. And I think that we're about to start seeing things get a little bit more and more dystopian. I mean, honestly, just think about anybody who's like roughly our ages, and I know you're a little younger than us, Teal, but if you look back to say, just think about how things were in the 80s up to now, or the 90s, and how much like how reality, how life was then compared to now.
Well,
It's only going one direction. The shit is not getting better. That's all I'm saying.
no, it's not.
So if shit is not getting better, what is it going to be in another 5 to 10 years? And it seems like to me it's accelerating. It's accelerating, constantly getting worse faster. So that said, I think it's going to get to a point where people's desperation points, and when people start getting more and more desperate, they don't care. They don't give a fuck anymore.
Right.
And this is why I say I think that things are like, it's kind of like this. When you watch all of these different empires, how they've collapsed over the centuries, the further and further it got from the founders and creators,
mm-hmm.
and it got down to that younger generation who has now assumed the power. They've sat in the lap of luxury. They don't have any fear of anything. And so they get more reckless. They get more cutthroat. Whereas the Henry Fords in his day understood, I got to give my people a little bit of time off. I got to pay them a little bit so they can have, so they might be working a whole lot, but at least they're providing for their family. And their family's able to have a good life. And the other corporations like, well, I'm going to make sure that they have enough money so they got that house and they got a second house and they can retire in a pension. So they have something to look forward to. The more and more you strip that away, the more you're going to start to see more visceral reactions. And I feel like that third and fourth and fifth generation who takes over, like the empires of Walmart and Lowe's and Coca-Cola and stuff, they don't give a damn because they're so far away from that. They feel like nothing can touch them. And here's what's going to make something touch them.
Well, it goes back to the saying, hard men make good times.
Mm-hmm.
Good times make easy men.
Easy men make hard times.
Easy men, yeah, hard times, yeah. And this, I long for the days of the psychopaths like a Brzezinski, a Rumsfeld, a Cheney. At least those psychopaths were competent.
Yeah, they knew if I let this balance get out of whack too much, they're going to be coming for my head.
Right. These fucking incompetent fucks we got running now, they're the little trust fund kid babies that came from the real psychopaths.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know when you get a lot of money just given to you, well, your ethics aren't the best.
Right.
That's
exactly what I'm talking about.
For eternity, 4 generations.
Yep. And that's how nations fall.
Right. That's why the average lifespan of a nation is about 200 years. Empire.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And they all have the similar traits. When you look at the life cycle of an empire, every one of them follows the same traits at the beginning, the middle, and at the fall. And we're seeing a lot of those traits right now at the fall. Not defending your borders, getting overrun, pissing all your treasure away on military escapades, wearing your shit way too fucking thin. All those things that are part of the fall of the empire we're seeing today. And then there's a whole lot more that I won't even get in that minutiae list.
Yeah, a whole lot more. We'll say that for the next time. But anything you want to plug before we get out of here, Dave? And I know you guys got a show tomorrow, right, Teal?
Yeah, Black Force Wisdom tomorrow. 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, 6:30 Pacific Time. I'm here to talk more shit.
Mm-hmm. And then we need to coordinate something one of these days to get Mariah on here.
Yeah, Mariah definitely has to come on.
I want to get more people who I haven't encountered, who I haven't been on panels with, to get on the panel. So I need to do that. I want to do actually more panels too. So this one I decided with everything that's been the kick up that's been going on with the whole MAGA movement. I just kind of wanted to have a chat with y'all and talk a little bit. And so, Teal, your assignment is start hooking this stuff up.
All right.
Yeah, send me the recipe for those gummies you talked about, the high quality one.
I don't know where you want me to send it. I thought you wanted email now.
Email it to me, baby doll. Okay. Email it. Yeah, email it.
Oh, damn. I'm plugging my camera.
No, don't worry about it. We're at the end of the show. Yep. I've got to go. The Third Rail with Nature Boy. It's live every Friday night on Rumble and X. You can find it on Rumble at the AM Wake Up channel, the Third Rail with Nature Boy channel, and also the TMP New Prisoners channels. Audio podcasts, wherever audio podcasts are pimped the fuck out. And it's been a great show. I always love coming on with you two. Especially,
you're always welcome, Dave. It's like one of those 90s sitcoms in The Neighbor, and you just come on over to the house anytime.
yeah, man. I'm kind of like the consider me on Good Times, the mechanic guy who pops in.
Yeah.
Well, and all the crazy fucking shit he got to say. So yeah,
man, it's always fun. And shout out to the chat, man. Everybody who was in here.
Good chat.
I mean, we had Rumble's showing some love, so big shout out to Rumble. Because I honestly, I'll be honest to the Rumble audience, I was a little bit worried about going on to Rumble for a while because I was like, well, I know that I lean more. Let's see what I am, but what would I call myself? Socially, I'm socially more conservative, but I'm physically more of a leftist. And so I was like, I know my viewpoints might not jog, but I think that's social conservative. I think we can kind of meet there with some of my Rumble peeps, and y'all let me speak my shit, and it seems like y'all embrace me to the most part and deal with my ums all the time. So I appreciate y'all. Much love.
We love you, Rumble.
Later,
y'all. See you tomorrow.
All right, yeah, I'll pop on, baby doll. If you're on there, you know I just can't resist. Fucking Island jeans, you know what I mean? Just.
And that said, hopefully y'all all have a safe week. I've seen crazy stuff. Like we had somebody out here who got kicked out of a club and decided that he wanted to hop in his car and go plow people down. And the same thing with another guy who started crashing in everybody's vehicles. So, we also had what was it? Cops out here who recently 3 of them just got blown up. Yeah, there was like live grenades which were in a storage unit, which the bomb squad took away, which turned out they were not inert, that they thought they were, and killed 3 sheriff's officers out here. So, hey, we never know when today could be our last. So, prayers and blessings to all y'all out there. Hopefully you're all safe. Hopefully your families are all safe. And that said, we're out of here. Y'all have a good one. Thank you.
Peace out.
Later, y'all.
There is discrimination in this world, and slavery and slaughter and starvation. Governments repress their people. Millions are trapped in poverty, while the nation grows rich, and wealth is lavished on armaments everywhere. These are differing evils, but they are the common works of man. They reflect the imperfection of human justice, the inadequacy of human compassion, our lack of sensibility towards the suffering of our fellows. But we can perhaps remember, even if only for a time, those who live with us are our brothers, that they share with us the same short moment of life, that they seek as we do, nothing but the chance to live out their lives in purpose and happiness, winning what satisfaction and fulfillment they can.